Yes.
Yeah.
For now
I hear the glorious tunes of the Ace Attorney.
Yes. There we go. What is happening to your mouse cursor?
I am in a separate window trying desperately. I unplugged the mouse to plug in the controller, and I'm trying to operate this with the Cintiq pen.
Oh, gosh.
It is very difficult to turn more volume using a Cintiq pen. I would be furiously tapping at the screen trying to get it to work.
I see.
Alright, going live.
Woo!
I can actually probably. I was listening to music in the background as well. I can probably turn that off. That's gonna override real bad.
Hello, RSAT Damon. I'm actually going to stay this side, so don't potentially miss any chat like we did last time.
Oh,
Yes.
So used to no one being on that when a chat actually happened.
yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah, we stopped you at Santa.
Yeah, we're getting the second summation examination now.
Yep, second
I'm
summation.
back this week, bitches.
Yep.
Santa, no!
The
It's
one
funny.
and original Santa.
Santa didn't do a 10-hour stream yesterday, so he can actually deliver his lines to all the good little boys and girls.
So,
Yay.
we do know that The Lion's Pride, the book that was in Mr. Garridim's house, was a fourth book that was dropped that absolutely did not belong to Soseki.
Yep.
We have proof that it was held. And, and we know it's the one because it has the burned edge.
Have we looked? Yeah, I was about to say. That seems.
Yeah,
It burned.
that part we've confirmed. It's the same book.
Yep. Otherwise, we actually were kind of chasing red herrings most of the time you were gone.
we don't have a lot else to go on, to be honest.
Yep.
We're back
Well, you
into
keep
a
trying
second.
to prove Natsume innocent, and people keep contradicting you.
Yeah, we're backed into a second summation examination now.
Yeah, it's almost like we just have a police officer who says that it happened and we don't have anything to make it.
Yeah.
And basically, because he's a police officer, even though he's asleep most of the time, his word is, law, which.
Or his wife's word, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, they were at the scene of the crime, is what they're saying.
I have some theories based just off of storytelling alone and what we've developed thus far, but
our working assumption is that we were trying to prove that because the old man who's wearing the same exact hat and looks exactly the same as the victim fell on Calabash Road, that we tried to make a theory that
Natsume saw him instead of her.
Yep, but it wouldn't. The problem is just his books are at the crime scene.
Yeah, his books were there.
Yeah, can't wand that away.
So everybody thinks he's guilty, and now we're gonna try to weasel our way out of this.
Yeah. Try to convince the jurors to change their mind.
Once more into the breach.
I'm fairly convinced that one of the jurors may be responsible for it, but
yeah, I also have that feeling.
We will find out.
Is this juror particularly strong? Maybe.
It's a good right swing.
Yeah.
All right, Judge.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I need to read now. I have considered the defense's counsel request for a further summation examination of the jury. I have determined that the court must uphold the defense's judicial right to the procedure, because Santa is all about the law. So, counsel, you will now proceed with your second summation examination.
Howdy, John.
Hello.
I presume that the jury is ready, Mr. Foreman.
I think I was doing but you can do it if you want. It's just me.
You're gonna be back to me. No, we hold on.
That's how I remember it.
Yep, as it should be.
Very good. In that case, I must ask each of you now to state clearly and concisely for the court the grounds on which you find the defendant guilty of this crime.
Judicial findings.
He's left behind this thing, dearie. Oh, 3 boxes.
Explanation about how the victim was stabbed. I might reconsider.
Even if the woman was throwing books, can't be related to this crime if the window was closed, can it?
Hey, you open your book all in and then even with the direct hit.
Look, I just want to get this over with. If you don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in a titty bit of trouble.
Titty.
Titty.
Or a tidy bit. Whoops.
Come to think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. Give me the sneezes.
Sir?
Old man looks like
Oh boy. Once again, this seems like a jury that definitely should be doing this. Anyway, yes, considerably more tangible arguments from all members of the jury this time around, it seems. Clearly.
He's not wrong. You missed a very, very good jury argument.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
in the first summation, it was the same deal where the second to last one didn't want to say anything, and then the grandpa's clueless.
With one notable exception, of course.
I'm pretty sure the second woman's only argument was that the dude was foreign.
Yeah.
No, she had other arguments.
Oh, that's right. She had a completely sound argument, but it was based on the fact that he was foreign.
It was laced with racism, but it wasn't.
Speaking of
unfactual.
racism,
Yep. Speaking
Yeah.
of which, here's Von Zeeks.
my learned student friend was unable to find fault in the previous witness testimony.
Oh, he said student this time.
Yeah. Wow. So the court must accept the fact that it was indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene. And moreover... Boom! No one else was even at the scene to commit the crime.
Except the victim, who maybe killed themselves with the knife in the back.
That's
All
a
right,
little
that-
much.
With
One
the
challenge
reach around.
so far.
That's a little much. I think her arms are too stubby for that.
Not with that attitude.
Oh, sorry, Santa is at the monitor working on a drawing. Oh, well, if the eyewitnesses are correct, it would seem as if the conclusion is somewhat set in stone. I fail to see how it can be argued any other way.
Tried to reach an itch with the knife and missed.
You underestimate our power, Judge.
I'm afraid that during this summation examination, it's essential that you establish some other tangible explanation for the fact.
But how? What would even constitute a tangible explanation here?
Don't worry about your constitution right now.
Isn't it obvious? The Constitution. Who stabbed the woman and how? These two details are all you need to provide.
Easy.
I think I read that line slightly wrong, but whatever. Simply give us a name and a method by which the attack was conducted.
All of us are warming up today.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten there yet.
And here I was.
My brain is too full of anime.
Yeah, I mean, I was still in Bloodborne mode.
But Mr. Naruhodo, you have to do it. Otherwise, this really will be where the trial ends.
It'll take us a while, folks. It's okay.
We'll get there.
We'll
Shake
get
out
there.
the muscles.
Listen, I woke up past noon today, and I haven't
Same.
done much speaking, so...
Also, Phil, get out of Bloodborne mode. You can't kill the queen in this game.
Yeah.
Cannot.
Is Phil waking up past noon really that different?
No, it's not.
There you go.
No, I meant more coming from Caroline, actually.
Yeah.
No pressure then.
Bonk.
Try and talk.
Oh! Right back over to the mic. Oh, that's quite enough preamble. Proceed with your summation examination, please.
I wish I had a little jingle bell to just ring whenever it's his line.
That would be a good
lovely.
one.
I could.
I
Daylight.
presume you were prepared, counsel.
My bad.
Oh, yes, my lord. All right,
That's not really a
Rinosuke.
bell. So.
Focus your mind now. Slap your cheeks.
There you
Twice, for good measure.
Clearly, the key to
Oh,
this
wait, what
summation
about this?
examination is going to be juror number 4, the maid. Or should I say, Mrs. Garadeb. She will not admit that she is Mrs. Garadeb,
Nope.
no matter
You'll
how
have to force
relevant.
it out
Oh
of her.
yeah, no, that is she's 100. She's 100% at fault in my mind right now.
You'll have to pull it out of her.
We have a book that disappeared from the Garadeb's house on the evening of the incident. And the 4th book found in the victim's hand.
There must be a way to link the two. Yes, that's what we have to find. Using every technique I've learned in my short career so far.
Your ministry.
Literally 2 days of career.
Like 2 days, whatever it takes.
Don't forget to keep an eye on Mrs. Garadeb and how she reacts, even to the things other people say.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's time
I'm glad
to
I'm
use
getting a
the new
tutorial
mechanic.
4 cases into this video game.
We're almost at the end of the game.
Oh, there's the witnesses in the back, Corbin.
Oh yeah, there they are.
The cop
Oh,
and his wife.
I see.
He seems cuddly, but he did pull a gun on me when he
Did
thought
pull
I
a gun.
He did pull out a gun.
Pat
and
and
he did say,
Rolly
I'll
beat.
shoot every single one of you.
Well, because we tried to insult his wife. That was the joke there.
Mhm.
Yes, but he was going to shoot us if we insult his wife.
Yes. Well, isn't that the gentlemanly thing to do at the time?
Maybe.
For a police officer?
I'm joking.
I was under the impression police officers don't actually like their wives.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Nice. Okay.
Saying, like, what is the statistic? 50%?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I know. That's a good joke. It's true though. Funny because it's true.
Alright, Q's left behind evidence of the scene.
Hold it!
But as we now know, there were 4 books, not 3.
Sure.
Mike.
There's every possibility that the 4th book, in fact, belongs to the defendant's landlord.
Oh, this sad part I have problem with.
Do you want one of us to take juror number 1?
No, no.
Sorry?
Enjoy forest cut with these waffles up easy.
It's not exactly how I put it, no.
No, the way I said it was more intelligible.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, these fellows want somewhere else up.
Huh.
I think that's what you call a strong alibi.
Sure, you a strong alibi.
So could be handled today. So Joe leaves where it fell. I always look like she always was about it. Sometimes.
There wasn't a single P sound in there. I suppose it is, since I have nothing but left to say.
Just gonna say, isn't it only a strong alibi if you actually have on record the wife saying she said, yeah, he was there, but she's not admitting to the fact that she's the wife, so he actually doesn't have an alibi.
As far as they're concerned, she can just say, yeah, he was arguing with his wife. I'm the maid.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't proven to the court that she's actually his wife.
Yeah, none of the Garadebs are currently here, so no one needs to defend themselves.
None of the Garadebs are here.
Yeah, it's a situation where it's ultimate irony. You know, we know,
Yeah.
but they don't.
We're all gonna hate this lady.
Yeah.
So, you might be willing to change your decision, you mean?
Oh my, such delight on your face. But I'm afraid I shan't be swayed by emotion. despite what you may think of me, I am a very modern, metropolitan, and rational woman.
I like Rick and Morty.
It takes a very high IQ to understand.
That's great.
That's great.
Good for you.
If one reads the morning papers, it's all forgotten by tea time, isn't it? So why read them in the first place? You
Mood.
see, modern, metropolitan, and rational thinking, wouldn't you say?
And not at all extreme.
As I see it, an overwhelmingly suspicious Japanese man has been implicated in an overwhelmingly strong testimony.
Not incorrect so far.
So, despite one or two minor puzzlements, I do declare that the man is overwhelmingly guilty. Modern, metropolitan, and rational logic, wouldn't you say?
Overwhelming. Yes.
But modern gals are always delighted to embrace new facts, you know. So I'd be only too happy to consider an exciting new theory if you could come up with one.
Okay.
I'd be happy to do that too, if only I could.
Yeah.
Let's do our very best not to disappoint the modern and metropolitan young lady.
Right. I'm glad you admitted rational there. Alright.
Also, I feel like we might have to, because references to the Gyaradeps were made, on any of the ones that references are made, we might have to repress them and hear it again in order to see the reactions. Because so far in the game, I haven't seen it once where the first time you hear someone say something, a reaction icon comes up.
Right. It may also be that somebody has to say
No.
something to trigger something
It
else.
depends. Sometimes it's at the first and sometimes it isn't. You have to keep an eye out for it.
I think a good rule of thumb
It
probably
does
is
vary.
just to push
Go
all
in
the
order,
statements
go in order.
and then
Yeah, just
or
go
e-
in order and watch.
or even just go in order and then go in reverse order and see what happens. Like either way.
But what about the possibility that the window was open?
What about it? I mean, there's no way it could have been.
Can you be so sure?
The prosecutor fellow over there said it earlier, didn't he? Winters in London are no joke. You don't want to invite that sort of cold indoors. So no, that window wasn't open. Us Londoners like sitting by the fire and staying warm, see?
But you couldn't categorically state that the window wasn't open, could you?
It just wasn't. They wouldn't have opened it.
Then what's the point in even
Can't argue
having
with that.
windows, huh?
You
Bing.
open them when it's not winter, you know, scared.
Judge.
Have yourself a
Judge.
Oh, sorry. Counsel, you will kindly refrain from childish bickering.
Sorry. Somehow, I need to show that there's an undeniable possibility that the window was open. Because this young man isn't going to budge otherwise.
Oh god, here we go.
But the little book was on fire at the time, was it not?
I'll have you know.
There's really no such thing as a loving incendiary bomb.
Nice dodge.
Himself is playing with fire to betray fire law. Isn't it? Well, wouldn't you agree?
Well, any kind of betrayal is certainly a bad thing, yes. But I think the argument might have arisen out of your misunderstanding, Mrs. Garrett.
No
Stop.
more, that is. Jovial little dispute, not more.
Okay, is she just
Jovial.
admitting that now?
She's done that a couple of
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, she's
I'll
just,
just
not like-
stop
Can't
smacking the
deny.
guy next to you. It has nothing to do with this.
well, he dodges pretty well. Or I think he's still getting it, yeah.
No, I
Yeah, he's
think,
still getting hit.
I think that's him reacting to being.
Any more suggestions? Anything whatsoever to do with this crime?
That's a good point. Maybe the window's open because smoke from fire. You know.
That would make a
You
lot
just
of
have
sense.
to prove that there was a fire. Yeah.
Isn't that actually a bad thing to open up the windows because it lets in a lot of fresh air to feed the fire?
Yes,
I
but
don't know
if
that they knew that at the time.
I think if it's cold air, it might not ignite. I have no idea.
I don't know one way or
temperature.
the other, but
Well, they don't want to asphyxiate.
Well,
I
I was
think the
gonna say
primary
what-
instinct is to release the smoke.
It might have been a situation where, and depending on the size of the fire, it might have been something that it was get the smoke out first and foremost, or reverse order, fire was already out, they needed to.
Right. This is also a shitty one-room Victorian apartment, so it probably isn't well ventilated. Like, even a small blaze might actually make it impossible to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a shitty studio.
Right, well, we'll see about that. What about juror number 5? He doesn't seem to be turning a hair at Mrs. Garadeb's relentless onslaughts.
That's actually relevant.
It's almost as though he's used to it. What a gentle soul he is.
You just want to get this over with? How can you sit there and say something like that? A man's future is at stake here.
Well, him and me both then, like I said before.
What?
I told you already. I'm a day laborer, aren't I? If I don't bring home some readies with me tonight, you'll find me floating face down in the Thames tomorrow morning.
What?
You heard me. My missus isn't one to mess about, you know? She can be fierce. Believe you me.
Oh,
Another shining example of marital bliss, then.
Situation like this cropped up the other day. It was, you know, it's funny, but I can't quite remember.
Sorry?
It was too frightening. That's the thing. Must have blocked it out.
yeah, okay.
Oh,
I wonder if Mr. B will ever be dragged into the Thames by his scarf.
don't even go there, Mrs. Otto. There must be some way to jog his memory about this.
Well, that would have to mean that Pat had fallen in first, right? Because they're wearing the same scarf.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Let's
100%.
see if this has anything.
Yeah, let's see if this has any relevance. It had a surprising amount of relevance last time. He did.
Grandpa's got some hidden
Yeah.
truths.
I was gonna say, he's referencing a fire. If he
Mhm.
lives nearby, maybe smoke could have entered into his. That's unlikely, but
Well, you
I
should
think he's
definitely
going
press
to
it anyway.
Scooby-Doo us into some sort of relevant thing.
yeah.
You should definitely press it anyway.
Mhm.
Does that have anything to do with your decision about the defendant's culpability in this case?
Sorry? What's that? You have to speak up, lad.
Could you tell us more about that fire?
It was last winter. My grandchildren baked me a lovely cake on my birthday. Had 75 candles on the top, it did. What a sight to behold it was.
You put candles on a cake? was it some
Wow.
kind of
Yeah.
devil worship?
The Japanese don't do that historically, so that's
Well,
why.
I mean, at this stage, I'm pretty sure like their idea of like a birthday like treat is like, hey, you got a fresh orange, congratulations.
Yeah. So the tradition of putting candles on cake is foreign to them.
That's
for
funny.
Sure.
Of course not. It was an angel cake to celebrate my birthday, obviously. I'm an
I think their
angel.
tradition
Just
of
look
putting
at me.
candles on anything is like a worship or a warding thing.
Yeah. It's for spiritual reasons, not for birthday reasons.
What lives in that cake, old man? And why did it need 75 offerings?
It seems that's a common custom here in Great Britain, Mr. Naruto.
Anyway, I mustered all my puff to blow him out. Only, must have flown wrong somehow. Flames didn't go out, but candles went flying all over the room.
How kind of a strength of lungs do you have, old
He
man?
mustered all his puff.
Mustered every last ounce of puff.
Come on, Lodi.
Furniture caught and everything went up. The whole place filled with smoke.
Yep.
So you opened the window.
Yep.
I'm willing to bet he's going to say, so you opened
Yep.
the window.
Definitely sounds like devil worship to me. And by the sneezes, I presume you mean a cold. But how did you catch a cold from a fire?
What a fiasco it was! The grandchildren, bless them, threw water over me as they tried to put out the flames. And because the whole room had filled up with smoke, of course, I had to open up all the windows to clear it.
Did we now?
Looks at lady.
The windows.
The biting winter air rushed over me like the devil dancing on my grave it did. Caught a terrible cold from it. I'll be in hospital for a while. Won't forget that birthday in a hurry.
I love this man.
I love voicing him.
He's a good
Old
grandpa.
person voice is fun.
Something about this old man's story is playing on my mind for some reason.
God.
I wonder what that could be.
Time for the review with Susato.
Shadow, my other brain cell.
Yeah.
Well, we need to demonstrate who, apart from Mr. Natsume, could have attacked a young woman on the street.
The birthday cake.
Now you're
Yes.
just being condescending, Susato.
As well as how he or she could have done it.
Yes, but once again, the jurors' statements are full of personal prejudice. A lot of them seem convinced that they're right, even in the face of logical arguments to the contrary.
I think you're gonna need to pit them against each other to force them to accept an alternative explanation.
Genius.
Yes.
Press Y to pit them against each other.
I don't necessarily need to find contradictions between their assertions, just a connection might do the trick. Alright, I'll see what I can do. If anything stands out, I'll go in for a strike.
Yes, that's the spirit.
Look out, world, I'm about to strike out.
All right,
Wait.
so
Wait,
Doesn't give me think it does. Okay.
not her, but him.
Yeah.
Hit-
Yeah,
He
it's
doesn't
him
block
and the
the
old man,
windows.
right? Because he's the one
Yeah.
with,
Be
Yep.
open.
with the window.
And then Mrs. Garadeb might actually have a reaction to this.
Eventually.
those two juror statements clearly contradict one another.
Judge.
Oh, they do. How exactly, counsel?
Don't point at me again. Told you it wasn't me.
Huh? What's that you say? Speak up, lad. Speak up.
Juror number 3, do you see?
Oh, me? See what, sir?
Did you hear juror number 6's account of his birthday celebrations last year? It seems, despite being a Londoner, he once opened his windows in the middle of winter.
Well, yes, of course, because it was an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from a fire, then you'd be mad not to open the... Oh!
Genuine.
Exactly. On the day in
This
question.
mofo said, "Oh,
Oh, damn! On the day in question, at the time of the incident, there was a fire in the Garadeb household. And Mr. Garadeb had the following to say about it. The whole place filled up with smoke.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
he reacted.
Ah!
He reacted.
She's
Dude,
drinking. She's
hey.
furiously drinking tea.
Pursue?
Or I could just watch this.
Excuse me?
Juror number 4, do you have something to say about that? Mrs. Garadeb.
Oh, no, me. What is means of how do you imply I'm hiding who I really am?
It's imperative that you confirm something for the court. So please, it's time to drop the pretense now.
What is it?
When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window?
Oh, I beg your pardon. What are you insinuating?
The room would have been thick with smoke after the carpet and bookcase caught fire as they did. In a situation like that, it is inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the window.
What if we did? Alright then. Yeah, you're right. My husband was frantically trying to open the window, which can't have been easy since I continued to give him a justly deserved book battering.
She's confirming a lot right now. All of a sudden.
Even though your house is on fire, and you also now know that he wasn't cheating.
She still, though, remember, she still wasn't convinced.
Yeah, she
even
still
though he
wasn't
pointed out
fully
angry
convinced
at
by it.
And then she was like, "You lied to me about your name."
Yeah, basically.
Oh, you never stop throwing until anger subsides. It would be terrible bad for the nose to do otherwise.
This lady is confirmation bias, the character.
Of course. I
Every
should have
character
realized.
in this game, you mean?
Fair enough. You got me.
That's a significant step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. You've managed to establish that
The window was open.
we simply must have that added to Mrs. Garadeb's formal statement.
Now that you mention it, yes, the window was open at the time. I'd clean forgotten, but it's true.
Alright.
I guess we'll press it and then see if that doesn't
Yeah.
open up anything, whether we can pit it against someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The 4th book found at the scene of the crime shows very obvious signs of fire damage. And the title of that book is The Lion's Pride. The same title, in fact, as the book that Mr. Garadeb told us he had been reading.
Well, I really could say.
On the day in question, did you or did you not throw at your husband the copy of The Lion's Pride that he had been reading?
I did. Wolf it.
Fucking what about it?
It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I held it straight at him.
I was having trouble targeting him with the cannon.
So, do we know? Do we know that the victim, that their injuries were specifically related to the knife?
I think we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
she is in the hospital because of the stab wound.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure that was explicitly stated, yeah.
Currently
Alright.
unconscious, but alive.
As well as current day medicine can tell you.
Well, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's not advanced, what do you call it? Forensics? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that something hit her on the head.
Yeah.
But she
That's
did have a
kinda-
knife in her back when that happened.
Yeah, she had a knife in her back and she was holding this book. Or
Yeah, the book was in her
or
hand, which is
else
odd
the
part.
scene was framed afterwards before the picture was taken so that she was holding it.
Or
Yes.
the knife was in her back, but not so deep that she couldn't walk, and then a book hit the knife on her back and pushed it further in, and then she fell.
But then how did she hold the book? I guess is the question that remains.
Spoilers, Jordan. God.
Yeah, you didn't tell me you already played this game.
You were rather enjoying reading it, you right?
Why did you not reveal this information to the court from the outset?
I couldn't, you insolent little man. I didn't remember. At times like that, you pick up and throw whatever you can lay your hands on, as you well know.
I really don't.
Ben is a bonus book, much less the title of it.
Ah,
Oh,
trauma.
Oh!
The trauma is flaring up.
Uh-oh!
For Stu.
Yeah, shut up, juror number 4. What is it, juror number 5?
You know something? I've remembered what it was. That memory had blocked out.
Ah?
It was I was listening to what this granny was saying, but I'd all fought him back.
Annie, you cheeky devil. And Mrs. Gavdeb, or the maid, I'll have you know.
Man doesn't even flinch. Please tell me that's not because he's so used to being hit all the time.
Ooh.
Spoiler alert, it is.
It was about 2 weeks ago now. I just got back home after work, put my hand in my pocket for the wages I'd just earned that day, and I nearly died. There was a hole. Every last penny had dropped out.
Oh.
Oh dear, what a disaster.
You haven't heard the half of it, boy. Themes of class.
Oh?
Can't afford good pants, can't hold your wage. Wife was cutting up some chicken at the time. I could hardly get the words out, but I told her straight. Lost the day's wages, love. Next thing I knew, the blade was whistling past my ear. Stuck into the wall next to me, it did. About an inch deep.
No words. Just terror.
I could smell it then, you know? The god-awful stench of the Thames. I was sure I was going to end up face down in the muddy banks that night, I can tell you.
The Thames, Dom.
Is it pronounced Thames?
It is
yeah,
actually
yeah.
Yeah,
My bad.
It's no worries.
it does not look like it.
It's not intuitive.
No.
Thanks, England.
Yeah.
Now that's a real disaster, isn't it?
Thames,
sorry.
just England's Hudson.
Yeah. Feel sorry for this man? Yep.
Actually, that's
There are
exactly
many.
yes. That's exactly correct.
Usually, yes, but there are actually multiple Thames in England, if I recall correctly.
But there is a Thames where the mob dumps the bodies, right?
Yes,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
this is London, so presumably yes.
Mm.
Scotland
is
Yard
the-
probably does that too.
I'll never use the word lightly again.
Wait, which word?
Disaster.
Oh.
Anyway, point I'm trying to make is this. When women lose their rag, they'll throw anything at you. Knives, hatchets, hammers, you name it.
Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't think that all women are so short-tempered and unrefined.
That's the lady who's throwing.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah, she throws people.
Do you want me to Susaki take down you right now for thinking that?
Susaki takedown?
Susato, take down.
Yeah, listen. Shh.
No, I wasn't thinking that.
Throwing household objects at people is, well, it's so uncivilized.
Yeah, just flip the
Should do
person
martial
instead.
arts instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, at least attack with honor, using a bow or the like.
She's got a point.
What? Attack? Who are you going to attack?
Allow me to demonstrate. Never mind. Anyway, this man's word could be rather significant, I think.
Alright, we'll come back to the bow and arrow thing later, if I dare.
Alright.
How much martial training does Susato have?
Enough to flip somebody.
I get the feeling she can use a bow too.
Quite possibly.
So we might
yeah.
want to connect this with something then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we also haven't pressed this statement yet, either, technically. But
Let's just see. Is there anything that you would pit a woman in a
Well,
razor
yes,
curling thing?
the knife. The other woman on the jury. She said if there was any other explanation.
Okay.
Novel alternative.
yeah.
Do you want to press this statement then, and then skip through the part where Susato tells us that this is the statement that we need to pit?
to?
That's up to
either
you,
way.
man. You got the control in hand.
Yeah.
I'll just press it. Your wife really threw a kitchen knife at you?
That's right. It was chopping meat with it. Had a tidy edge on it, believe me. Still, it's all memories, isn't it? Started with that smile she threw at me when we were courting. And since then, the list of things she's thrown at me has grown along with our relationship.
Oh, no.
There was a cup, then a glass, then a pot, a kettle, a chair, a wardrobe,
A wardrobe?
a bathtub.
How is that even
Oh God. Are we in Durarara right now?
I don't know how this statement's gonna fly, but your wife must be even beefier than you.
And things came to a head last week when she threw me right into the Thames.
Holy shit! She threw
Thank
him.
you for not reacting at all to the thing I just said about your wife.
I think he agrees is the joke. Still, she's not so bad when she's calmed down. She's a little sweetheart, really.
I'm so happy for you.
If you want to know what I think this whole idea of ladies first that we're so obsessed with in this country was thought up by some clever lads who'd been tossed in the Thames a few too many times by their wives.
A very interesting theory.
Still, I'm. This is the relationship if Isaiah and Shizuo.
Yes.
What a terrible thought.
What do you call him? On the face of it, this juror's statement just sounds like a really extreme anecdote. But I bet I pit it against the one statement and da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
Bada bing, bada boom.
A weapon, like a knife, being thrown out the
An
window.
alternative explanation.
Yeah,
I
they
just need
gave
to
you the
find
hint right
somebody
there.
who wants an alternative explanation involving a knife.
Yeah. Wait.
Ah, shit.
Oh, what have you
No.
done?
Damn it, no!
No.
Oh, what was that? Alternative extermination?
Technically,
Like,
this is
I won't
different, but it's
remember.
not that important.
That's funny. That's cute.
What's that? Can't hear.
Chocolate? Did you say chocolate?
He's deaf as a post when he wants to be.
All right.
I've just done this.
I will say, this don't be too fast though.
Yes.
I guess we
Because it
didn't.
was a.
I don't think
Oh,
we
God, we never
successfully.
got to the end of the thing.
Yeah, we never
Yeah.
successfully
Let's get
finished
this.
pitting him against the other guy. I guess either.
That's true, but I guess you can choose to do that again, or you can pit the new one.
Let's do the new one.
I'm just gonna
I
say one.
I will say, I like to think that this old man is Herlock Sholmesing it right now. He's like, I can't say that I don't find it so I'll
That'd
just
be
give
too
you this
easy.
very nice anecdote.
Not every one of these people can be obfuscating stupidity.
Not everybody's in on it. Some of these are actually just dumb
Obfuscation.
strangers.
Through stupidity.
Mm,
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's saying hangs out in the same park as the old woman?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Probably.
He might have.
So.
Those two statements have a deeply significant connection.
Judge.
Oh, sorry, Judge was once again working on a drawing. Good grief, you mean they don't contradict each other? Explain, counsel, at once.
Juror number 2. Do you think perhaps that this could be one such novel alternative?
Oh my, whatever do you mean?
An alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back.
What are you talking about?
We've demonstrated that the fourth book, The Lion's Pride, that was found on the scene of the crime, originated in Mr. Garrideb's room on the top floor of his house. Therefore, it's equally possible that some other object besides the book could have found its way from the Garrideb's household to the street below.
Yeah? What's that now?
After all, Mrs. Garrideb could have thrown any number of different objects at her husband. Isn't that right, juror number 4?
What is it now, you little beanpole? That feels like a slur, like I just said a slur.
I'm beginning to think that ever since the true origins of this book came to light, perhaps she's had a feeling that this might be what happened.
Juror number one.
You're my sight also.
Is that racist? It's so old, I don't know.
I have no idea what that even means.
You know what? I'm gonna Google that word because I understand what he means by context, but I don't
Yeah,
know what exactly it means. Let me see.
It sounds offensive.
it sure does.
You give us your about some of
Oh, okay. A gala is a small Australian cockatoo with a gray back and rosy pink head and underparts, abundant and regarded as a pest. He's
so
just
it's
calling
really...
him a pest in a very elaborate way.
I see.
Oh, this what was?
I'd love to play old-fashioned words roulette, where you have to figure out whether the old word is like racist in some way or just really old.
Yeah, it's just an old insult in this case, I think.
Oh my god.
Those luscious eyelashes.
Mm.
Really taking a big gamble here. Yeah, no shit. That was a bold accusation to make, but I haven't any real evidence to back it up.
Gotta do it anyway.
I'm certain that at the very least, this warrants further investigation. Alright, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. The other object that found its way from the Garadev household to the scene of the crime was my armband.
The kniff.
Jack Kneff.
Mr. Jack's knife. Juror number 4, Mrs. Garadev.
Oh, no.
I must apologize in advance for this. But I need you to confirm something else for the court. This knife. Have you ever seen this knife before?
Oh,
Jingle bells.
Oh ho ho! Good Lord, Counsel, what on earth are you doing?
I just like the idea that the judge is on his Cintiq and then he just turns around occasionally.
No. He's going over the naughty and nice list.
Yeah.
yeah.
Clearly, that's a weapon that was lodged into the victim's back, man.
He is on a Cintiq because he uses a spreadsheet now. My lord, remember when the victim was attacked. Remember when the victim was attacked. Mr. and Mrs. Garadev were in the throes of an argument. Mrs. Garadev was hurling anything she could at her husband, who had been backed up against the window. A window that had been opened to clear the smoke, and through which a book sailed to land at the crime scene.
I love that there's like so many different. Oh no! Oh, you know what? It's fine. It was all contained in the one.
Oh, I thought that was your line reading.
No, it was me. That was me. I did that.
Well, Corbin responded in kind, but yeah.
Yeah.
I went rah rah, you went rah rah, and Corbin went rah rah. That constitutes one fair play
Yeah,
line.
that's the whole line. Yeah.
Are you saying that it flew out the window and across the street to land neatly in her hand?
Just a 3-part harmony of.
Huh. If my missus hasn't got a name like that.
Yes, I admit there are many details we don't yet understand. But that's the point. That's precisely why we must not allow this trial to end, not right now.
Oh my.
Ah!
Are you okay, old man?
Oh, God! My heart!
Mrs. Garadev, your answer, please.
The shock of it!
Have you seen this knife before or not?
It is a common knife. They said it at the beginning.
That lawyer has a knife, I just noticed.
Oh,
Thud.
She fainted.
Well,
She recognizes the knife.
this knife has an M on it for Mr. Garadev.
odd.
Who this?
It has an M
My lord.
for Mrs. Garadev.
Shut the fuck up. I was really thinking that W looked like an M one day. Or no, that M looked like a W.
We're going to see that knife again.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Someone's going to take it out of police evidence and stab another man with it because that's how his attorney is.
Wait,
Wow,
wait,
classic.
wasn't there a thing Wasn't there a thing in the previous trial about a book with an M on it?
No,
No,
it was the knife. That's what I was referencing.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
I wish to change my decision.
In Ace Attorney 1, they use the same murder weapon for the first 2 trials.
They do.
It's a clock.
It's a clock.
Yeah.
I'm a woman of my word, after all. I'm a modern metropolitan woman of my word.
Now watch my pyromancy. Thank you, madam.
All this over. This is some book.
Huh?
Oh, so office talk. I mean, no, it's my questions.
Didn't expect to mostly hear that from that guy.
I know.
It's very
Yes.
interesting seeing which consonants disappear entirely.
Yeah.
It's a mystery every time.
He does play fair
Surely is.
sometimes.
It's like a gachapon of letters.
Yeah.
Mr. Foreman.
It's
I'd
using
have to
alphabet.
agree. Not that I think the granny did it, mind. Yes, you know what? I'm not quite happy about this at the moment either.
You're going on a safari adventure.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, now he's what's?
The
Bam.
old man.
4 in 1. There you go.
Damn.
The old man is still just like surprised that we pulled out a knife.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I think he has another one on his hip.
Oh, it's an even bigger
Golf
knife!
clap for the victory. The small victory.
Oh, congratulations, Mr. Naruto.
Jingle bells.
So, as a result of the defense's summation examination, a number of the jurors' leanings have changed. 2 jurors called guilty against 4 now calling innocent. However, I feel like there should probably be a mistrial here, considering the situation that one of the jurors seems to potentially be the guilty party.
Okay, what if, because it was a mistrial last time,
This judge is very
Really?
lenient.
it would really suck if all of our victories are air quotes.
It's just like this
victories.
trial and the next trial are both mistrials.
Accordingly, the opinion of the court is divided.
I can tell you that this is not going to be like the last case.
And
I'll
this
let you that.
trial will continue.
Rebel.
Until the jury leads differently.
Yes, well. It's time to continue the trial.
Now then, Lord Von Zeeks, how does the prosecution wish to proceed?
I bet he's pissed.
Alright,
Yeah.
we're on balance
Under on
number 2
that
for the
glass
day.
going immediately into the fire.
This trial is rapidly descending into a farce.
We should pour a glass of wine when we start the stream and only take sips when he takes it.
And
What-
when he smashes the chalice, you have to chug.
I was
Yes.
gonna say, what happens when he smashes it? What if he smashed it? What? He's thrown the whole wine bottle a couple of times too. What happens then?
Yeah, that's a complicated rule set I don't want to get into.
I don't know, you have to butt chug?
Oh, God.
Oh,
Butt chug.
oh.
Not on stream.
It's a little extreme, yeah.
I feel like that's
Look, we're
against
boring
your
people. We don't butt chug anything.
Now
He
you're
admits
boring.
we're boring.
Well, that's the joke. It's a callback.
A callback. Wait, this didn't even happen on stream. It's a callback for nobody but us.
It's it's an inside
It's a
joke.
callback to the unaired pilot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I was here for this callback, so I don't get it either.
yeah. Well, that's fair. It happens sometimes.
Also, internet, this was a joke. Don't ever put a wine bottle anywhere near your butt. Tons of people go to the hospital every year for this.
Yes, please don't do that unless a doctor recommends it.
There's not a single doctor
I
recommend.
don't think that would happen. But
I don't know why a doctor would
I can't
recommend
say
that,
He's
but
wrong.
Exactly.
There's-
So I'm pretty
There's
safe
not
on
a
that statement.
single ER doctor who hasn't helped somebody who has done this to themselves.
Yes, don't do it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
There's not a single ER doctor in the country who hasn't seen this.
Okay. Zeke's time.
Yeah. Like a corked wine, the first few sips are bitter enough.
Especially, never mind. I'm not gonna make that.
Yep, there it goes.
Smash!
He's angry.
The what follows is so repugnant it's good for nothing save the gutter.
Chalice count is at 2.
Yes.
Oh, Lord, my sakes.
You know, you don't have to turn around. You can just make noises.
Yeah, you don't even need to read it, really.
Your offenses just put forward incredible alternative explanations of why.
Credible. Is that your considered opinion, Mr. Foreman? The defense's argument is a joke to which I barely know how to respond. But let me start by insisting. But you must all familiarize yourselves better with the relative positions of those places being discussed.
Time to bring out the map again.
Don't tell me their window faces the wrong street.
Oh no.
Well, let's find out.
What do you mean by that? What's his angle this time?
Actually, it's the angle.
Hey, jokes.
My angle is the angle.
Jokes.
Can he be my devil? Or my angle?
More so the first one, probably. Should already be more than apparent that between the crime scene and the Garadeb household, runs a rather wide street, Briar Road. Which means that the distance from the Garadeb's house to the scene is some... yes, 15 yards.
15 yards. Let me pull up my abacus. That's around 14 meters.
That's like 30 feet.
Oh, 14 meters. That's a little farther than I'd imagined.
And as you ladies and gentlemen of the jury rightly noted as having pretentious significance, the fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, the smoldering book wantonly hurled by the lady of the house traveled some 15 yards to land on the opposite side of the road, neatly between the collapsed victim's finger and thumb.
Yeah, that part is kind of hard to believe, isn't it?
Well, you put it like that.
You make me sound stupid.
Yeah.
Is that your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend? And did the jackknife follow a near identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back?
Well, here's the thing. It makes sense that it hit her in the back if she leaned down to pick up the book.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
And I mean, also for the sake of if she picked up the book and were moving, there's nothing necessarily saying she didn't collapse after it had been stuck in her back.
This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think.
We do know from Soseki's witness that she fell unconscious in front of him. So,
Yeah, she didn't stop to pick up anything in his
Not that he saw.
remembrance.
unless he saw, yeah, but
Unless he saw an old man fall
Yeah.
down and then ran away and someone took his books.
he just saw a body fall
Yep.
in front of him,
Yep.
and that's
Right.
what scared him to run away.
Even those pathetic serialized detective stories have more believable plots.
Oh, you know what? We should call him in.
Oh, well, thank you. My detective stories are in no way pathetic.
That's my pathetic detective story. How dare you?
I'm not even mad about that. I'm mad for my ghostwriter. There's nothing I can say to that.
Prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice.
Mr. Zato.
I love how fed up with his shit she's getting.
I feel like
Well-
that was more of a Miss Susato.
She's angry about the insult to Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? How dare he?
Maybe let's pick our battles here.
Thank you for having my
My
back.
lord, might I be allowed to speak?
Oh, ho! As judicial assistant, you may speak for the defense. Yes, go ahead.
The prosecution may consider the idea a fantasy. But what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to changing its lenient. And as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. And to that end, a juror number 4, Mrs. Joan Garrideb, must be called to testify and submit to cross-examination.
Ho ho ho.
Oh ho ho! Saints alive!
Saint
Such as
Nicholas.
myself, Saint Nicholas! A cross-examination of a juror?
That was mostly me just saying I'm still here.
Order! Well, this is highly irregular. I should have just said ho, ho, ho! It is unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand.
Objection!
The whole
There it
body.
goes again. Ah, fuck! And unnecessary.
And I would know.
Like throwing
Oh.
this bottle of wine, it is unnecessary.
Ho,
Yes.
ho, ho, ho.
Oh ho ho, Lord Hanzix!
There are already witnesses in the stand whose testimony the defense may further cross-examine. My learned friend's farcical theory has any truth in it. Both a burning book and a jackknife must have flown through the sky before this couple's eyes.
It's foggy, you fuck.
And we must assume they would be able to testify accordingly.
He really does not want us talking about the Garridebs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause he
now
did
you
this
have
last
to.
Mm.
It looks like now you have to prove that these two did witness the thing falling, or they're
Oh,
not
no.
good
Did-
witnesses at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see how you do that.
Judge?
What say you, witnesses?
Beat report for duty, sir.
Yeah.
Well. Good morning, officer.
Been off till now, sir. I was left for a month on account of a villain who's appeared on my beat, sir.
Oh my
Is
goodness.
this Jack the Ripper?
Yeah, they
Oh,
overwork these bobbies for sure.
Jesus.
They are so heroic. These fucking is.
Sounds like it may have pained you there, Cesaro.
Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more.
Oh my. Oh, really, my hero. You make me swoon.
And
Well, I have rejected the principle.
What?
Yeah, we're not gonna cross-examine Mrs. Garrideb at the moment.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, the order of the witnesses is stand to testify again. State forthwith before the court any details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation of events, please.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I didn't. Did you say that? Because I didn't pick up on Discord or stuff.
Yeah, it didn't pick
oh,
up.
sorry. I said yes. It tried to, I guess, filter out my horrible screeching.
You went too
Yeah, I
high,
think
I
that's
guess.
what's happening. Every now and then it happens.
Mhm.
It has refused to filter out fair play. I think you should be fine.
The system is fair play proof.
We know by the music that this testimony is a game changer.
Yes.
Hmm.
Notice the music is higher tempo with
Yes.
additional instruments.
Yes, I love it.
This case has nothing to do with Mr. Gary Dibb. Believe me, a London Bobby is good for his word. You see, sir, the windows on top of Gary Dibb House are top hinged casements.
Obviously, if anything had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty Riley was there to make sure nothing was disturbed.
But didn't it say he was sleeping in the snow?
Face down.
Yeah, they did say that earlier.
She said that she found him face down in the snow when she came back.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that
Unfortunately, her previous statement is not in the court record, so you can't say that that's a contradiction.
He was talking about a villain on his route that's been keeping him up for a month.
Yeah, he did
Does
mention
that
that just a
mean
moment ago.
Is it actually possible that that is who, in fact,
Maybe.
took advantage of
Could
this
be.
And
You'll have to keep thinking about that one for a while.
Or is the villain from the last month, Saseki?
I'm trying so hard to keep my fucking mouth shut.
And he just straight up has making this man's life horrible.
I know the answer, but I can't say it.
Real quick, what's over under of there being a Jack the Ripper in this game?
Like 90% positive.
And if it doesn't happen in this game,
I can't say anything.
I appreciate your restraint. let's keep going so Dom doesn't suffer too much.
For the record, we are going to kill him by the end of this.
Oh,
He's going to explode.
Oh, man.
Well, this is quite startling. Top-hinged casement windows. What's a top-hinged casement window?
That detail was not in the police report, Constable.
It's okay. They'll give you an anime explanation of what it is.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. I must have been a little drowsy for him.
You cannot excuse your sins with drowsiness every time, Constable.
That's the first thing that I think I've agreed with Fonz. So.
No.
He very occasionally says some reasonable things, but there's interspersed between many other less reasonable things.
Between a lot of Nipponese.
Yeah.
Between a lot of that. Six has issues. He has issues to resolve.
Between, all the racism and drinking wine and acting like my aunt.
He has a lot of issues. But ultimately,
probably clubbing a few people in the gallery.
Ultimately, he is a well-mannered gentleman. He just hates you with a passion.
Oh, yeah.
So much.
Despises you.
He really does.
Not, specifically.
It's strictly personal with him.
Because we showed him what for.
Yeah.
Sorry, but what exactly is a top hinged casement window?
Yes, Japan doesn't have those.
And you cannot excuse your ignorance with such trite remarks, my learned friend.
Of course. Sorry.
I found it, Mr. Naruto.
God, you've got everything in that book.
It's an encyclopedia.
Cast your mind back to the windows in Mr. and Mrs. Garrett's room.
All right, I'll try.
Picture perfect.
Powers.
So, the window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the house. But as it's a top-hinged casement window, it swings open along the upper edge, you see.
There you go. That's a top hinged casement window.
I will in fact take the girl. Woody, hi.
I did not know for sure that's what that meant, but I figured that was probably what that meant.
Yeah, I think we had some of these windows in some of the college buildings instead.
Oh, she done gave you a nice slice.
Oh
yes. No. You ever sit on a chair like an idiot with one of your legs just sort of like one leg in the regular position, the other leg just sort of with your foot against your knee, kind of cocked, like
you're half crisscross applesauce.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm not that
imagine
guy,
if
but
they
I
were
understand.
the cap.
I was gonna say I'm doing that right now, actually. In fact,
Thoughts?
Yeah, it's a neurotypical people don't sit like this. But
Man, I feel left out.
True.
I'm too ordinary.
too
Jeez.
ordinary.
yeah, imagine that a cat was entirely like lying down and putting their whole weight on that leg that's cocked.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've
no,
been-
I started moving it and then she just dug her claws
Yeah.
into my leg.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Anyways, so how would you throw an object through this window?
It'd have to arc pretty severely there.
Yeah, or it would just hit the window and fall down.
Yeah, the problem is the trajectory has to be mostly lateral because of
Yep.
how far away it is.
Yep.
Yeah, the body was across the street, according to the report.
Yeah.
I'm glad you've rectified your ignorance. A casement window's most prominent feature is its stay, a metal bar which prevents the window from being opened beyond a certain amount.
Didn't say it was difficult opening. Is it possible that it's broken?
It prevents opening? This is all news to me. I mean, do you think maybe they broke it trying to open it?
Could be.
Possible.
You'll have to examine it.
In other words, what is his voice? I don't remember.
It's just Beppo, but small.
Small
all it is.
Beppo.
Small Beppo.
Life, a book, a knife, wave is thrown through the open window, sir.
There you go.
Beppo's my granddad. You were clouded against the pane and fallen down straight into the pavement below. Oh. No.
You see the problem then? Good. Your education in Windows is complete.
Time to move on to Macintosh.
Nice.
Now let me tell you about Linux.
Have you heard of Ubuntu?
There was never any possibility of either the book or the knife traveling 15 yards over the road. That is, unless the window pane had been shattered, something we've discounted already. Did you see that, Riley? That young Japanese man just collapsed in agony. How delightful!
No! This is awful.
Yes, my darling. I saw it. I saw how he crumbled before me.
Oh, you're so strong, oh, Riley! I already said this.
I hate these two.
Yes,
Wait till they do their
strong.
dance. Hold up.
You're so strong and manly.
This is a true crime obsessed couple.
I feel like this is actually how people who like have a cough fetish, like actually how it
Yeah,
works.
probably.
Did you watch that 40 man just collapse? How is this happening? I haven't even started the cross-examination yet, and already my argument's been destroyed.
Oof.
Oh.
Oh.
Counsel, if you could drag yourself upright again, the court awaits your cross-examination. Also, Santa will probably be going to bed very soon.
Okay.
I
Sounds
will
good.
sub. I am a sufficient sub.
The joke, Caroline. Don't make the joke.
I was pretty much the same thing going through my head.
He's
We're
a sub
all-
named Dumb.
I put it down like a cheese
Oh my
table. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
good
no,
joke.
it is. Yeah. The
The
jokes
man-
write themselves.
The
Yeah.
man named Dom said he was a good enough sub. It's just,
Exactly.
but
Sufficient.
are you a
but
tier 3?
That seems above my caliber.
How do you feel about the Switch?
It's a good console.
Oh, God.
And now that's out of our system.
That will
Yeah.
have company in hell.
My lord. Oh, good. Another desperate situation. Actually, do you want to take a quick bathroom break?
Sure.
Yeah, I could get some water.
I might
Return
also-
Santa will be vaguely different.
Yep, I might get some more tea as well.
Santa will be
However-
changed somehow.
Yep.
However, fair play will sound exactly the same.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right.
I'll go
Give me
get
a minute,
water.
internet.
All right, and good night, friends. I'm
Yep.
heading to bed.
Good night,
See
Corbin.
everybody later.
night.
So, check out twitch.tv/Courtunes tomorrow for. I'm going to stream through all of Helltakers since people might
Oh.
be busy on Valentine's Day. I'm doing that instead.
Oh.
There you go.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
This case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs.
We've already read
Garrett.
this.
We've already read this.
Ain't got nothing to do.
Read
Time
this.
to press everything.
How can you say that for certain? A very good question, sir. The answer is ace.
He's just gonna pull out his badge and be like, "Oh, that's why I'm right. I'm a police officer."
Yeah, some noble family principles
God.
of the force reeled as a reminder that I was policeman of our sworn duty.
He should have done before, didn't he?
Did he? I can't say I remember.
I do. I really want it to be fake. I really want him to not be a real cop. It would be freaking hilarious.
I patrol the streets of London and uphold the peace of the common man. That's what the job's all about. That's why I can't stand here beside my long-suffering wife and tell you if Bob is good for his word. I'm rubbing my tired eyes admittedly. Sir?
Oh, really? You're so manly.
Of course I am, my darling.
We're gonna change the voice for that.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, I want
God.
to change the voice I make an executive decision. Oh, Pat.
Oh, really?
Disgusting. Young love. Shakes fist.
No, none of this is what I meant. I
You
meant
know, they're
how
the nicest.
this case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrett.
They're the nicest couple we've met so far,
It's true.
considering the ones we've heard about.
Yeah.
I guess so.
I mean, but she is still like breaking his neck by yanking on the scarf.
Yeah,
Yes, well, wives be that way apparently.
apparently.
In this universe.
Apparently that's just how wives be in England.
I wonder if the writers on this game had any feelings for their wives that were.
Is there a single wife in Ace Attorney who isn't the more assertive of the two?
That's true. I can't think of any.
Because I'm thinking of all the married couples in Ace Attorney, and the wife is always the Senate.
Yeah, it's
Don't
true.
use that, sir.
They're just tough ladies all around. Ace
I was
Attorney
gonna
writers
slide
like
by,
tough
no one's
ladies.
gonna remark on it, but you had to.
I'm right next to you, and you're gonna throw that language in there as though I'm not gonna notice it.
I didn't know we had objections over Japanese architects.
Objection!
Oh God,
Anyhow,
I see, sir. You should have said so earlier, sir.
you did.
Yes, well. So, could you answer the question? That was a waste of time then. Absolutely, sir. I'll answer it to the fullest of my abilities, sir. There's a surprising reason why Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's domestic dispute cannot be related to this case. I got Australian all of a sudden. Before I get to that, sir, just one thing. Yes? I'd very much like you and your countrymen to understand the Great British Institution of Scotland
Oh
Yard.
boy.
Oh, I hope you'll take back some tales of us London bobbies and how we uphold our garden principles. I wasn't planning on going back just yet. I've only just arrived here. So that ends, sir. I'm happy to lend you my warrant card for your perusal.
Okay.
I must warn you, you won't be able to get it. I won't I'm shedding tears.
You won't be able to get through it without shedding a few tears.
I'll try.
Huh.
Let's get through it, guys. Time
We
to
should
read
we
it.
should look at this, right?
You don't want it to be real.
I don't want it to be. I think it would be so hilarious.
I
if
think
it's
it'd be
like-
funny too, but I have to confirm that he's a real cop.
The principles of policing. Item 1. A policeman will strive to preserve the peace within his allotted beat. Item 2. A patrolling officer is expected to walk 20 miles around his beat every day for the furtherance of community relations.
These guiding principles are the law. They have to do this.
Item number 1. Any crimes fall under the jurisdiction of the beat in which they are discovered. Item number 2. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with the initial investigations and help detect.
So we need to talk to that beat police officer.
Yes, because this is not his beat.
Oh, yeah, that's
He
true.
has no jurisdiction.
That's true.
Yeah,
This red
he
strive
witnessed
is
it,
starved.
but he said it wasn't his beat in his
Yep.
witness.
He did say
Yep.
Policemen will starve to preserve the peace.
that.
Starve.
By which you mean they don't open fully, is that correct? Yes, sir.
$10, we go back there and it's broken, and it can open fully.
It's there to allow a little bit of air through the house, you see. So they're restricted as to how much they open.
Therefore, anything thrown out of the window from inside the room would simply strike the pane and fall to the street directly below. For clarity, allow me to mark them. Here is the location where objects would have fallen.
Who wanted to take over Santa Claus?
Yes. Directly opposite of the scene of the crime, on the other side of the rather wide road.
15 yards!
Do you think it fell out of the window? This woman grabbed it and was like, "Oh, free book," and then crossed the road and then just later got stabbed.
Maybe.
Seems a little contrived now.
It does, but I mean,
It's Ace
this is Ace Attorney.
Oh, hold up. Now that's just a disparaging remark.
I don't know, I've seen some pretty contrived things happen.
There's
It's
a
almost like when you
girl
need to
who is
make a
stuck.
literally hopeless situation, the
There's a-
actual events are contrived.
The girl who is stuck in the hidden compartment in this carriage has a grenade launcher.
Well, she stole that, for one.
She stole
Don't
that
you
from the
talk to me
toddler
about
with the
contrive.
PhD.
Someone turned the thinker into a clock that speaks for some god-awful reason.
Yes, and then somebody beat somebody to death with it twice. 2 different somebodies and 2 different deaths. Yes.
Yes, well.
It would have been so
That's
hard
not-
for somebody to mention
That
a
is not
top
this
incident.
game.
Well, I have another question for you, Constable. What would that be, sir? How do you even know? Why would you have any idea what sort of windows Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's house is furnished with? Well, sir, that's very simple. You see, I helped with the investigation
What?
yesterday. None of my words matter anymore.
Time to see what she's so happy about.
Do you have something to add, Mrs. Beat?
Sorry?
You look, well, delighted. Is there some particular reason for that?
Oh, I was just remembering. That's all. You really were so lucky.
Lucky? What do you mean?
Well, of course I feel terrible for the poor woman who was attacked. Don't misunderstand me, please. But we were just so lucky it didn't happen on Riley's beat. We're so close, you see.
Oh, I hadn't realized.
Oh, yes. That's straight to Briar Road. That's the boundary between Riley's beat and the next one. Isn't that right, my love?
And this is where we present his own booklet
Yep.
back at him.
Yep.
And back to his sleep.
What are the odds, do you think, that she moved the body across the street so that he wouldn't have to deal with it?
Oh, shit.
That's so true.
Oh my god.
Intriguing
Because
proposition.
All I'm thinking of is the scene from Incredibles where it's like, no, my night is in danger. No, if you have to investigate, I don't get my date night with you.
Where's my London Bobby hat? I said, where's my London Bobby hat?
Why? No.
Well, where's my super suit?
Is that what happened? She was directly underneath where he's clearly marked the X for us to point to.
Could be.
Oh, fucking goddamn it.
Oh, I mean, it still could be some other type of explanation. We don't know. We don't know. There could be a bird, talking bird for all we know.
Yeah,
Cross-examine the parrot.
Honestly, the worst thing about that, the situation isn't weird or unprecedented in actual like courts. The most unbelievable part of that is that the bird was retrained in a matter of days to not say the secret combinations.
Right.
Yeah, that part was a little off, wasn't it?
The villain retrained a parrot that wasn't theirs, and that was the weirdest thing to me, and no one talks about it.
Yeah.
Seemed pretty strange,
well. We just assumed that Bird's anxious or something.
Oh yes, that's right. That's the reason I was helping out with the interview with the occupants of the Garadeb household yesterday. Their house is on my beat, you see, sir.
Oh no, if this is the explanation.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna lose
It's
it.
entirely possible.
It was cutting it close then.
Yeah. Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something. If the Garadeb household is on your beat, does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well? You're setting this up. It's becoming more and more real.
You guys are funny.
I could be wrong, but this is my Ace Attorney sense. I saw it, Mr. Garadeb's house. Oh, yes, ma'am. A pavement on that side of the road is part of my beat.
There's the broken bike there.
Yeah.
What if she fell on her bike and then just the things fell down directly on top of her? That's why it would be in her back. And then it was just like, oh, I'm just gonna drag this body across the street.
All right, my working assumption.
How does that explain the book in her hand, though?
Well, here's the thing.
Well, same thing with planting the rest of the shit.
100%. Rolly Beat didn't see it. We can all agree that Rolly Beat did not see shit. His wife did. His wife is lying. His wife saw the body, moved the body, said she saw the
So how did she do that when she went to get the other cop to report the incident?
Yeah, but we don't know how long it took for her to get there, and the man's was asleep.
She witnessed she went away for 15 minutes.
Yes, but also we have no idea how long Mr. Rolly was awake for any part of this.
Yeah, that hasn't been testified.
Let's keep going.
I see. I was unaware of that.
Just think, if the women had been attacked just on the other side of Briar Road,
Fuck you.
I would never have been able to go for that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary.
Yeah, no,
What a terrible tragedy that would have been. But that's the life of a Bobby, after all.
I can't with this.
Extraordinary people are Bobbies, tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners.
Do you know what I think?
No.
I think it was the good Lord's way of rewarding my Rolly for his hard work.
Are you referring to yourself as the good Lord?
She's talking about God.
I know, I'm just saying, but if she did it, she's kind of like saying God did something. Like, I am God.
Wow.
Don't you think so, my darling?
I must be it, Pat, my love. I must be it. I think perhaps we should make sure we have the information officially on record.
Leave it to me, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take care of it immediately. Reading your thoughts again.
The case file has been updated, y'all.
The pavement where the victim was found lies just outside Constable Beat's beat.
Mm-hmm.
He beats his beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Beats his
happened, I think.
Hey, that's not the worst thing for a cop to beat.
He said it.
Jesus.
I didn't do it, the cops did.
Alright.
Uh,
So are you gonna press or are you gonna
let me
reassess?
see. So all we have is the warrant card saying that he has to do it if it's in his beat.
Yes.
And they updated the case file.
They did also
to
update the case file.
explain the
If you want to look at that.
explain the beat distribution.
Mhm.
Which one? Case file?
I think it was on the other.
East side, yeah. Okay, so now we have this specifically says where they were found, which is on the east side.
Just outside his beat.
I don't think we have any statements we can present it to yet, though.
Nah.
But according to my notes here, the sun had gone down, and it was all. The sun had already
Had gone down already.
dark.
Yes.
Oh, but Riley and I were strolling along, gazing at the night sky and looking for a lucky star.
Sorry?
A star that will guide us to eternal happiness.
Turns out the star was just a blazing book.
Can't it guide you to answer the question? I am losing my patience with this woman. If a flaming book had cut across the sky in front of us, it would lit up like a shooting star.
And if I'd seen a shooting star, I would have made a wish upon it. Let Riley be an inspector, I would have said. 3 times at least.
I wish that my husband could have married me again.
Basically.
Double marriage.
Of course, with smog and everything, we couldn't actually see any stars.
In short, are you trying to say that neither a book nor a knife crossed the sky before you?
Yes, sir. That is correct, sir. As the night sky in London is starless, sir. It certainly seems like they're telling the truth.
And then we saw the poor woman fall to the ground. We ran straight over to help her.
Interesting. So in order to get back into, he actually has a returning to this animation. Or returning to this pose.
Oh, I see.
I was trying to see if I could get him into a different pose, but he's not actually saying any of these statements.
I see.
Yes, you said that you went to a nearby police box to fetch another officer, is that correct?
That's right, yes. If it had been on Riley's beat, I would have known exactly where I was going, of course.
Can't be expected to know the location of every police box on every beat.
So Riley told me the way, only I sort of got a little lost on the way.
Patricia, my darling, that's why I love you. Your dead sense of direction is bewitching to me. Oh, Pat.
Oh, Riley.
Oh, please.
So, I suppose I was gone for about 15 minutes. But like I said, my Riley was at the scene the whole time, making sure nothing was disturbed.
This is the part of like in a '90s show where they'd use the phrase "gag me with a spoon."
Yeah.
I was off duty at the time, of course, but a true Bobby is never really off duty, sir. Yeah, he has to do that to return to this animation every time.
So, hi, Kobe. Yes, I very much enjoy the Rolly voice.
Oh yeah,
Oh, somebody has to.
it's good.
I like it.
It causes me enough pain that someone has to enjoy it.
Our, our current running theory is that the missus didn't want to lose her anniversary night, so she moved the body across the street so it wouldn't be on his beat, and they could enjoy their night.
I mean, my only issue with that right now is that Rolly seems to have also seen the woman collapse.
Yeah, he seems to have been awake, unless he is being instructed to lie by his wife.
Yeah.
I still don't think he actually saw the moment of the stabbing.
It's hard to say at this point.
And I'm convinced he probably didn't even see Soseki. But
I mean, their initial witness testimony didn't say that they saw Soseki. They just saw a man, and the only man there we know
they
is
didn't see
Soseki.
anybody collapse because Soseki was there.
Yeah.
I think that they're obfuscating the fact that they came across the scene way later.
Maybe.
Nothing to report, sir. That's correct, sir. I had my eyes wide open the entire time. Never looked away for a second.
I don't believe you.
No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. I can swear to that on the yard's honor, sir.
What honor?
Really, that seems a little strange. Beg your pardon, sir. Strange, sir. Seems altogether regular to me. This burnt copy of The Lion's Pride was originally in the Garadep household. So the question remains, how did it find its way into the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime the entire time? Burnt copies, well, they just happened to be burnt as well.
It's a common occurrence for these books to get burned.
Even if it were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? Ow. Modi, you're doing the same thing because I'm sitting like an idiot again.
Oh no.
That's like on you at this point. Fool me once.
I just can't sit otherwise, and I don't notice when the cat climbs on me.
Here, Modi. I know my lap is not as primo as Jordan's, but oh no,
she's offended.
She chooses the floor over me.
Yeah. Sounds like a win in my book.
As we can see from this photographic print, every time it makes me laugh, she had a bag over her shoulder. Well, sir, that book was in the lady's hands from the moment we arrived at the scene.
Okay, but did she actually just pick it up on that side of the street and walk across from it? If that's the case, I'm gonna be so sad.
We've proven that it's not possible for the knife to have traveled or the book to have traveled that distance.
Yeah.
Unless the thing's broken.
But it isn't. Don't know. I think we're pretty sure. Even if
there was testimony that the window was not broken, which we assumed meant just the glass wasn't shattered, but it could also mean that every other part of it is.
I mean,
sound.
Even if it, I was gonna say,
you're missing a single piece, and you're so close to getting that piece unraveled.
Is that so? Something about this statement that's not sitting right with me. The two mysteries of how that knife ended up in her back and how this book ended up in her hand. There must be some common thread between them.
Soseki is your favorite character in the game, huh?
Yes, I was gonna say I did see that, and I was gonna say Soseki is pretty good as a character.
I do like Soseki.
I like Soseki also.
I don't know
I-
if he's my favorite character of the whole game, but he is one of my favorites in general.
I very much like the random girl who steals things and happened to steal a whole ass grenade launcher.
Oh, Gina Lestrade? Yeah.
Lestrade, yeah.
So,
I think she might be my favorite overall. Because
Yeah,
of things that happened in the second game.
Oh, interesting.
My personal favorite so far is the Japanese Secret Service agent.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he was.
Oh,
I
Like the
yeah.
Yasunaga.
I liked him a lot. We haven't seen him.
I happen to know.
Did he go back or?
He's in Japan.
Mild spoilers, we will see him again.
Good.
Yay!
That makes
We'll
me
have
happy.
a different job.
That of course.
I won't spoil what it is, but I've seen the art.
Oh, that's exciting.
It is.
I'll have you know, Jordan, it's the same job. He's just weird about it.
He's just weird about it.
Look, if he's going to dress like that, I don't have an issue with it.
I think it's a good one.
Oh my
It's
god,
good
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something, please, Mr. Lawyer, sir?
Oh, yes, of course, as long as it's not racist. What is it?
Okay.
No promises. You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell.
What? I wasn't really. I mean, what is she doing?
Something she did last time. Please, just because I'm a woman doesn't make my testimony any less valuable. You might just see me as the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman of my word, I am.
I really don't remember ever suggesting that I doubted you.
This is the wrong guy to be pulling the sexism card.
No excuses, I don't want to hear it. My voice will be heard. My lord, you'll let me speak, won't you?
Yes, Mrs. Beat. I will allow you to supplement your testimony if you so desire.
I will provide you just enough rope to hang yourself.
Rough. I did not say that. Ho ho ho. Cole at most. Please.
No, I mean because she's absolutely going to incriminate herself with the thing she's about to add.
Oh, probably.
Sometimes the path of least resistance is the sage one.
That was a very loud mutter.
I heard that. That Japanese man thinks a policeman's wife's word counts for nothing, does he? Well, watch out, sir. I might let you get away with something like that, but I really won't.
Duly noted, Miss Beat.
He has a gun, you know.
Oh.
Please, I humbly ask that you continue.
What could she possibly be about to say, I wonder?
Hopefully crucial testimony that'll help us.
I'm pretty sure that's gonna be the case.
From what I saw, my eyes never let me down. My sense of direction is a little off sometimes. I assume it's the last statement is what's added, but we still haven't pressed this one.
Yeah.
No, this one was the one added, I believe.
She was talking about how good her eyes were, but I don't know if she actually said that.
Yeah, no, that did sound slightly new.
It might be, yeah. Mrs. Beat, nobody is questioning what you've told us. Literally nobody.
I saw it! I did! That evening I saw it clearly! At least a man with the whiskers and the funny curved back slinking away from the scene.
I find it more tragic than funny, but...
And I know what I didn't see as well. I didn't see any flaming books or knives flying through the sky.
all very clear. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction.
Oh, yes, well, that's a little embarrassing, really. I'm always ending up at the wrong place when I've made arrangements to meet Rolly. It gets ever so gross.
Reaction. Excellent.
Oh boy, I couldn't be happier to stop talking to you.
Get him.
Constable Beat, is there a problem? No, sir. No problem, sir. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Well, in a way, sir, yes, sir. I was just remembering the same thing happened that evening is all.
Hmm.
You mean Mrs. Beat lost her way on the night of the incident? Well, you see, I sent her off to find a police box and the next beat over from mine. She was gone a fair bit longer than what I was expecting. I thought she'd be back inside 10 minutes, but my darling was gone a good 15.
Oh, really? It was such a tease. The reason it was so long was because of the bouquet, silly.
The bouquet? Sorry,
Huh?
what bouquet were you talking about?
Pardon?
Huh?
Not the book?
Naughty the fuck?
Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Really so romantic. Saved up for it with farthings and had an easy found in the gutter while doing his rounds.
Yes, how romantic.
Ah, gutter cash. I'd forgotten all about it until just now. Had you, my darling?
Oh, yeah. Was just between. I forgot his voice. What was his voice again?
Beppo, but small.
It's Beppo but smaller was the
Yeah, yeah.
Beppo's
my granddad.
Beppo!
Or maybe Sleepy Beppo, if that helps.
Hmm.
No talking about it to anyone else, darling. You have to prove.
Really? Oh.
Well, that was odd, wasn't it?
was in fact very odd.
Constable Beat looked very obviously troubled during that exchange.
I'm afraid I can't offer any useful insight, Mr. Nahara. For once, my butting in isn't just a tutorial for the game, but in fact the reverse of I don't know.
Yep.
But I'm quite sure of one thing. We have to ask Mrs. Beat about the bouquet.
And you thought she wasn't going to tell us what to do.
I spoke to
Mrs. Beat, this bouquet you just mentioned. I'd like you to add details about it to your testimony, please.
Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to.
Banzeek's over here like
No.
so ready to throw his witnesses out the window.
Along with his
Skip
colored chalice.
Oh, I read that as him just going like, oh, fuck. They were.
This seems important, right?
Right.
Let's press this.
They omitted
All right.
something?
You mean you dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime?
Yes, that's right. Oh, I was so upset. When we ran over and saw it was a woman with a knife in her back. I was so shocked. I dropped the bouquet Rolly gave me. It was in a dark spot where the street lights weren't casting any light, so I didn't notice at first.
Then you went to the police box to report the policeman whose beat it was on.
Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the other constable, you see. That's when I spotted my bouquet again. But the funny thing was, when I went to pick it up, there's nowhere near the victim's body at all.
Ooh.
Wait.
Body was moved. Body
Interesting.
I
was
don't think it was her.
Yeah, well, no, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was her. Definitely.
Did Rolly move the fucking body to
Did
try to
Rolly do it?
Oh my god.
I think Rolly did it.
Were we wrongly assuming it was the wife the whole time?
Y'all are
Yeah.
fucking sexist.
That's not sexist.
No,
She's just
no,
a bad person.
They
I'm
just think
joking,
so
I'm joking.
little of Rolly that they're like, this guy's got no spine. He wouldn't do it.
He
Yeah, I
just
get
said-
that that's the point, but
And they keep
you guys
showing
are funny.
As fine when he's talking to his wife. He just said, "Don't tell them about
yeah,
where you
he
found
did.
the bouquet."
He did. Yeah, no, that
Well, now
did
she's
tip it off
saying
a
it.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this fuck. You fuck.
Fuck.
You
All right,
bastard.
All
Come
you've
on.
done is.
we're getting so close to the truth, y'all. Let's go.
And now I feel no
I'll-
differently about cops than I did before.
If we wait too long, Dom's gonna turn into beat.
In case you need reminding, Mrs. Beat, the victim is not deceased. I was all flustered for a moment before I heard a voice calling me from the other side of the road.
Your husband, presumably.
That's right. Silly me. I've gone over to the wrong side of the street.
She's bad with direction. She just doesn't remember.
Yeah,
which
she
side
just
it was.
assumed that that's how it.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
Terrible.
So much worse. It's so much worse.
At this point in time, would you be gas-lamping her?
Stop.
I still gaslights, yes. Oh, there! I'm going to put in the bouquet this time. I can't think how it got there. I really can't.
So the bouquet somehow moved from one side of Briar Road to the opposite.
Yep. Definitely.
How curious indeed.
Isn't it? But the worst of it is, I forgot to pick the bouquet up again when we left the scene. That beautiful rose really bought me, with that change from the gutter he spent so long collecting.
Was it one rose?
It was just one rose. Yeah.
I don't
By
I was gonna
bouquet.
think that. Okay.
Do you
Yikes.
perhaps mean this sorry solitary rose?
I like that this is where he steps in because it actually bothers him that she keeps calling it a bouquet.
Oh, but that's so rude, Van Zeeks.
Well,
You
he's
know
an
what?
aristocrat.
Okay to her.
He is an aristocrat. Yes, that's it. That's the bouquet Riley bought me for our anniversary. With old bits of change he found in the gutter.
Yes, we get it. You guys are paid very badly.
Maybe just call it a rose.
No, it's a bouquet to her.
They're trying their best.
It's okay.
Tell
she's
us,
racist,
Lord
y'all.
Vadseeks, where did you come by the flower?
According to the report by the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Garadeb household.
Redeb's house.
Although it wasn't noticed until the morning, it lay where the street lamps cast no light. It was believed to be of no relevance to the case since it was found on the opposite side of the thoroughfare. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Can I have it back now, please?
No, I think for good measure, this rose should be added to the court record as evidence.
Oh. You're so sad.
Yes, well, they don't get a lot of nice things.
An Ace Attorney where people are like, hey, do I get my shit back? No, it's evidence.
But it's a symbol of our love. I want it back after the trial. Do you hear me? I want it back.
Good grief! Rest assured that I shall do my very best not to forget, Mrs. Beat. Alright,
So,
let's review everything, I guess. Everything that's relevant.
okay. We know for a fact what happened now.
Well, we don't know for.
We have a very
We
good
know
idea
exactly
what happened now.
and we know who the murderer is.
It was Rolly who stabbed the woman.
She stabbed her with a flaming knife.
The knife
Threw it
was
like
on
a ninja.
fire.
15 meters.
You can probably look at the bouquet, I think.
Oh yeah, look at the bouquet. Yeah.
It's very stylish paper the flower's wrapped in, isn't it?
That's a newspaper.
Just an old newspaper, Mr. Naruto. Okay, Phil, first one of the evening. It's rather late.
I think I did it. I think I did it once earlier, actually.
You might have.
I think it was a collective one that we all did.
Yeah.
This one is entirely you.
Oh no, because I preempted Pat saying that Rolly was so strong earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right, you did. Oh, I suppose it's because I'm not used to seeing English print. It looks so exotic to me.
I see.
I guess, to his credit, he doesn't see paragraphs very often.
Yeah. It's like, oh, look at
He
these,
also-
look at these rectangles composed
He
of
what
also
these
learned
little,
English.
these little
He learned
lines.
English on a boat
Yeah, that
in 40
textbook,
days.
Yeah.
He took English in college.
No, he didn't know English in the first case, remember?
No, remember, he could speak English. He could understand what she was saying.
No, he couldn't. He specifically
He-
said he doesn't understand what the lady was saying.
Yeah. There was.
That's why her script was weird.
He
because
either
she
he
was
either didn't
speaking-
understand it at all, or he understood very little. I don't remember which it was, but
Yeah, he learned on the boat, literally.
yeah, he like
Along
because
with the law.
we started being able to understand what she was saying when she started speaking in Japanese.
Yes, she changed her script when she spoke Japanese. And then the script got standardized when we came to England because it would be a bit of a hassle, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Is something wrong?
Oh, no, it's just. I was thinking that if you wrapped a stone baked sweet potato in English newspaper, it might look like some sort of fancy cake.
Okay.
Ah, Susato-san, you do love your cakes. Oh, that's that.
Huh.
I guess
All right.
the rose.
An English rose. It's such a beautiful flower.
Ah, this is a rose, is it? I've never seen one before.
Do you not take an interest in flowers, Mr. Naruhodo?
I wouldn't say that exactly, but I do know 3 types at least.
Gosh. 3?
Yes, plum blossom, peach blossom, and cherry blossom.
Whoopee. Perhaps you. Oh my god, this pun. Oh.
Ha,
Good.
Perhaps
ha, ha.
you should consider branching out. Learning some that aren't fruit tree based, for example.
In the distance, you hear the ghost of Cosma press the ghost of an air horn.
What exactly is the ghost of an air horn?
I think that's that.
It is a rose.
Yes,
We
Sure
have
is a
confirmed.
rose.
very evident.
Sure is a rose.
But it's not about the rose, is it? It's about where it was.
Yep.
About the Mets, baby. Go Mets,
Mets,
baby.
baby.
Was just gonna say it's not about Spider-Man.
Not always about the flowers, Spider-Man.
All right. So I'm pretty sure you have to present something in one of these statements.
That's
But,
usually how Ace Attorney works.
You know, frankly, I don't remember which one, so enjoy the challenge.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
okay, so to put the facts as we understand them,
Well, if the court
Pat
understands
dropped
them would be more
a
productive.
Pat dropped the rose on the opposite side of the street, which is Rolly's beat.
Mhm.
If he dropped it on that side, it's because the crime happened on that side.
No, wait. You've confused it. The rose was dropped in front of the Garrideb household.
Yes.
Dropped
Which is
in front of the Garrett.
which is on Rolly's beat.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. No, I got confused then.
Yes. Because she dropped it when she saw it, and they were walking. I don't know if they said in front of or behind, but they were walking towards the victim.
Mhm.
They did declare that the victim was in front of them.
Yep.
They were on the pavement, the same pavement as the victim. In other
Mhm.
words, they were on Rolly's beat when they saw Soseki run and the victim collapse. So it happened on that side, and we now know that for sure.
Yes, if you connect the testimonies, it happened on Rolly's beat.
So whatever we do has to prove that it happened on that side of the street.
Precisely. Or you have to prove that the rose wasn't moved,
Dropped
that it
my
was in the
book.
same place that it was dropped.
Who was there to make sure nothing helped? Obviously, if anything had been thrown out the window, it would have seen it.
Hmm.
It's the first statement sounds like it could be something
Hmm.
because it's saying it has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb, and we're trying to disprove that. But that might be one step ahead.
Yeah, you're
trying
one
to
step
make
ahead.
that the case when we're just trying to prove it happened next to their house.
Yeah.
I mean, you could possibly use the rose there, I guess, but
I think it might just be the rose statement. I dropped my bouquet.
What's the previous one to this?
I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed. Maybe we just press this again. See if anything changed. I'm just gonna do that. It'll let me skip through the text very quickly.
Just do a once over. It'll stop skipping when it's new stuff, so you can just do that.
Glad to see that animation again. I actually do think their animations are
It was
incredible.
all old, so nothing new there.
Okay, because, I mean, he clearly did disturb the crime scene.
What's the last statement?
Actually, no, wait. Nothing changed. This is not true because something did change. That's what we're trying to prove.
I guess. Though
Maybe
the
you
fact
should
that
try
the bu-
presenting the rose here then.
Yeah, the fact that the bouquet was in the dark spot might be a thorn there, but I don't know.
You know what it's time to do?
Yep. Prepare for the potential error.
Yep.
Systematically present one piece of evidence to
We're
every
already
state
down
until
by
you win.
one because of earlier in the trial.
Yeah. Well, I suspect you'll get this right pretty quickly. But
Right.
it's just a matter of getting there.
So I think this is the statement we need to do just because he didn't take his eyes off the crime scene and nothing strange happened.
Could
Except
be, yeah.
something strange did happen.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't think we.
So present the rose here or something else?
I think it gotta be the rose, right? Because everything else just says, the pavement where the victim was just outside. This statement doesn't really change that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's the rose.
Objection.
Music stopped. I think we're good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You claim, Constable Beat, that there was nothing to report, sir, in the 15
Greetings,
or
Professor.
so minutes you were guarding the scene. But that cannot be.
What do you mean to say?
In your testimony just now, Mrs. Beat, you explained to the court that when you arrived back at the scene of the crime with the policeman assigned to that beat, the bouquet you had dropped at the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby.
Objection!
Yes, on the opposite side of Briar Road to where the victim was attacked. But considering the size of that meager bouquet, if a single sorry bloom can be so described, no doubt it was blown in the wind across the street, back into the gutter where it belonged.
Yeah.
Meager?
Objection.
I think he's really into flowers.
Could be, yeah.
He's an aristocrat. Of course they're into flowers.
Hmm.
Oh, Jesus.
They're expensive
Sorry.
and die quickly.
That was my alarm.
Like aristocrats.
Haha.
It's more that
Oh,
they're
this-
wasteful was the joke.
This fucking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Got him.
But if that were the case, why did Constable Beat not testify to the fact?
That no one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it.
Are you writing notes in your encyclopedia?
Yeah.
No, this is
It's
a
a very
different book.
versatile book.
It's a different book that looks exactly the same.
Yes,
she
I
has
get
a
them
lot of books in
confused
there.
Sometimes.
I have one book jacket and I switch it out for whatever I'm reading.
He swore to that on Scotland Yard's honor.
But the bouquet belonged to me. It's nothing to do with the case. That's why Rolly didn't mention it, I'm sure.
Sad realizations.
No, because sadly, it's not only your bouquet we're talking about here. More than one thing in this case is mysteriously the wrong way round.
What are you talking about?
Think about it. Besides Mrs. Beat's bouquet, there's Mr. Garrett's book. Mr. Garrett's copy of The Lion's Pride, which was thrown out the window by his wife. Would have struck the pane of the casement window and landed here on the west side of the street. And yet, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in the victim's hand. Meanwhile, according to the testimony we heard, Mrs. Beat's bouquet should have been dropped here at the scene of the crime on the east side of the street, but in fact, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in front of Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house. There is no logical explanation for those things, unless someone deliberately moved them.
Dun dun.
What are you trying to say? The way you're talking, it sounds like you think my Riley's done something wrong. But...
Oh, she's back.
Corny lawyer says.
Oh, you're not fainted anymore, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. She's like the female like Mr. Faraday.
Oh, I see.
Walks and bouquets. Wash bouquets, nitpicking. That's what it is.
Except you can actually make out the words. Oh, good. Mrs. Garadeb's come round. I was so concerned.
Yeah.
You might call it nitpicking, Mrs. Garadeb. But deliberately meddling with the scene of the crime is a criminal offense. It's called,
Tampering, Mr. Nervo.
It's my second language.
No, yeah, that is true, but it's still funny.
But the person responsible for this tampering cannot admit to it. For a very subtle but compelling reason.
Objection!
Tampering? You've barely heard the term before.
English.
Tell us, my learned friend, who would possibly have had cause to carry out such an elaborate deception.
Well, I've only been training to be a lawyer for 50 days, so I didn't hear it in Japan much either.
True that.
Yes, there is someone who tampered with the scene of the crime that evening.
Boy.
All the evidence and all the testimony points to that one particular person.
Sounds like you're about to present it. Counsel, I must demand that you substantiate this conjecture. Who are you saying is responsible for tampering with the scene of the crime?
Seki Natsume.
Sherlock Holmes.
My client, of course.
My friend and mentor, Kazuma.
Baron von Zeeks was there the whole time.
Yeah. It was the vampire, my lord.
Take that!
Obviously, there's only one person it could have been. Constable Rolly Beat, it was you.
What? A policeman? A member of Scotland Yard?
What nonsense! Why would my Riley do something like that? There's no one straighter than my husband.
Keep telling yourself that, love.
Nobody works more tirelessly for the people of London.
Mrs. Beat, you said in your testimony that your husband asked you to go to a nearby police box to fetch the officer on duty. The 15 minutes that you were absent from the scene is the only opportunity anyone had to tamper with it.
You're making it up. It's all nonsense. It's all lies. What about that Japanese man with whiskers? Yeah, I bet it was him. He did it.
Objection!
If that was true, Constable Beat would have seen him do it.
Uh-huh.
And forgive me for pointing it out, but when you dropped your bouquet, Mrs. B, at least Susato says bouquet.
She's nice like that.
Well, Rinosuke did too.
It was after the defendant had fled the scene.
I think there's only one person who hasn't.
Yes.
Yeah, well, the aristocrat in the room.
Oh, well.
You said it with air quotes. Does that count?
Objection!
He's angry now.
First, you make accusations about the landlord and his wife, and now you incriminate a policeman as well.
Oh, I know how Ace Attorney works. It's only a matter of time before I accuse you of something.
But your accusations lack one very important thing.
Evidence!
You claim the crime scene was tampered with. But there's only one reason anyone would commit such a reckless crime. To hide something.
He's asking about the motive, eh?
That's right, he's right. And my husband and I just happened to be there, that's all. So why would we have anything to hide? It doesn't make sense. You've offered no motive for this alleged tampering. Until
You offered
do,
no motive for our guy, though. Like,
Your accusations are nothing but empty threats.
I don't think you need a motive when the policeman who did tamper with the evidence is saying, I saw that man kill her.
right.
Also, he's Japanese.
Also racism. Both racism and the exalting of the police class, yes.
Yeah.
Constable Beat had a very good reason for wanting to tamper with the cream. He did.
The cream of the
That's key to
crop.
the entire affair.
Alright. There's one particular item that proves it.
Mr. Otto, you managed to solve this mystery? Color me shocked.
Counsel, you have made a very serious accusation against a London police officer. If you are mistaken, I'm sure I need not point out that your reputation as a lawyer will be irrevocably damaged.
True.
With that stark warning in mind, you'll now explain to the court the motive for this alleged tampering.
Yes, my lord.
Deep breath, Ryunosuke. You got this.
Constable Beat's motive for tampering with the crime scene was to hide.
Where the victim fell, right?
Where the victim fell.
Yeah.
His beat.
Mm-hmm.
Where the victim fell to the ground. That is what this Bobby had to cover up at all costs.
What? Where the victim fell? You mean where she was attacked?
Well, he's been pretty quiet, hasn't he?
What are you talking about? We told you at the very start, didn't we? On the pavement of Briar Road. We saw it happen, remember? Just right here, as if anyone didn't already know.
Certainly what everyone has been led to believe. But in fact, that isn't where the victim was stabbed at all.
What? What?
Beginning to wonder where this tumultuous trial will end, Counsel.
If that's your assertion, then the court is dying to know, my friend. Where are you proposing that the crime actually took place that evening?
Well then,
We removed
Show
your
'em.
helpful with Lex. I was kind of really hoping he was going to be here.
do it.
Kid him.
But that's...
On the opposite side of the road? I don't understand.
The evening in question, Mr. Garadev's book fell directly down from the open window above, not below. And your bouquet, Mrs. B, never moved at all. What did move was the scene of the crime itself.
Good gracious!
Objection!
Perhaps you haven't been listening to the ample testimony the court has heard. But these witnesses both saw the moment the attack took place. That's right. I saw it with my own eyes.
It was 5 o'clock in the evening and already dark. There was typical London fog on the ground. When you saw the incident unfold and ran to the victim's aid, that was actually on the west side of Briar Road.
No, that's not true. It can't have been.
Constable Beat then arranged for you to be absent for a while by sending you for help. And during the 15 minutes you were away, he transplanted the crime scene. He moved all the things shown up in this print. The victim herself, the 4 books, He moved everything, in fact, to the pavement on the east side of Briar Road.
Extraordinary.
But the constable overlooked one thing.
What did he overlook? The bouquet, I presume.
Exactly.
Hey, he called it a bouquet without air quotes there.
There we go.
Now if he can just call me his friend without saying Nipponese.
That'll take a while. It does happen, but it takes a long time.
The prosecution told the court just a few minutes ago about the discovery of the rose bouquet. Lord Von Zeke says it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay where the street lamps cast no light.
Yes, it couldn't be seen in the dark, obviously.
Which is why it was only the bouquet that was found in its original position on the pavement on the west side of Briar Road. And that is the defense's theory about what really happened that evening. How do you respond? Constable Rolly Beat.
We have you beat.
Is this the part where they have the breakdown?
It's coming, yeah.
Sometimes. Oh, very sorry. I didn't mean to nod off again, but I haven't slept properly in a month. Did I miss anything important?
Oh, really? It isn't true, is it? What that lawyer said is all lies, isn't it? I know this because you're the most upstanding, righteous man I know.
I had a dream. A terrible dream. The things I did that night. Everything come out. Everything exposed. Only, it seems, it wasn't a dream after all.
Good golly! Order! 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 What on earth is the meaning of all this?
Oh, really? Why? Why would you do something like this? Living a corpse is a criminal offense, isn't it?
Not dead. Wishing the victim dead should be one thing, too.
Constable, explain yourself. Why would you do this? As a respected member of Scotland Yard, your duty is to protect the good people of London town. What?
I'm so sorry about all this. For damaging the Yard's reputation. For everything. I have a possible explanation for why, on that particular evening, Constable Beat felt compelled to move the scene of the crime. I can think of one reason.
What? How could you possibly know? You, a foreigner, presuming to understand the mind of a Scotland Yard policeman?
Rude.
And yet, Lord Van Zeeks, it is this foreigner who has uncovered the startling truth of the matter thus far.
Oh!
Get riggedy wrecked, son.
Ah!
I believe it would be beneficial to the court to hear this extraordinary young lawyer's theory.
This is the nicest judge.
He's a good judge. He's a very good judge.
Granted limited, he's so fucking nice.
To be fair,
There's only been like 3 or 4 judges.
As an awful judge.
Yeah, so there's only been like 3 or 4 judges. They're all mostly the same, but this guy's very nice.
He's competing with the Canadian judge.
Yes. Counsel for the defense, if you please.
Yes, my lord.
Now then, think you had better show us some evidence.
At once, my lord. England, Japan, makes no difference where you come from. Human emotions are the same. And I think I have a fairly good idea of the feelings behind this man's actions.
What gives away the motive for Constable Beat's unthinkable actions?
Do we just present the bouquet again?
I think so. I can't recall, but I reckon so.
I assume
Probably works.
It's either that or the manual.
distillation of
manual.
human emotion.
Actually, it's the warrant
Yeah.
card. No, it's the warrant card because he had to he had to work his shift, even though he was off duty, if the body was in his beat, and he didn't want to do that.
I realize I am a foreigner in this land. That's the word. And I have only just arrived from Japan. Which is why all this information about London's so-called bobbies is completely new to me. I've learned that, though honorable, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world, for example.
Keeping the peace, looking after citizens on his beat in all kinds of ways. There's no doubt the young Bobby is charged with a great deal to do each day, certainly.
But for Constable Beat, the day in question was special.
Special? How?
On account of this bouquet, my lord. I think either might have worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have worked.
Probably.
It's true.
Oh, yes. It was our very first wedding anniversary.
And this is why young people shouldn't get married.
Hey, I got married young.
Yes, so do we.
I got married younger than you.
Starlight, that's
I'm the first one that married here.
Constable Beat had worked so hard to be able to afford this simple gift for his wife, and was so looking forward to taking her out for a celebratory meal.
When he and Mrs. Beat stumbled upon a crime along Briar Road.
When he saw the shadowy figure through the fog collapse on the pavement ahead of them. What must have gone through that man's mind? But, sir, just on the... Now I'm just thinking about the voice for Pinocchio.
Oh no.
Father!
father.
Wow.
But, sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wife's anniversary. Also mine. Mrs. B puts up with a lot being married to a Bobby like me. I want to show my dear wife how much I care. This is the warrant card that Constable Beat offered to lend me earlier. Inside, among the rules for patrolling policemen, it says, when a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with the initial investigations and help detectives.
Aha!
Constable Beat. Is that or is that not the reason you moved the whole scene of the crime that day? Yeah. Then you said it's alright.
It was all to do with the boundary of your beat. Oh,
Exactly. To summarize, the incident actually occurred on Constable Beat's beat.
Good gracious. Constable, do you realize the gravity of what you have done?
It was the time since I became a copper that I'd ever cursed God. Stay close to me, Pat. The criminal could still be lurking somewhere. As we ran over to the scene, I had every intention of doing my duty as a police officer and opening my thing by mistake. We gotta report this to the station as quick as possible. But then it dawned on me. I realised where we were. The victim was lying. And what it meant for me.
when a crime is discovered on his beat, a police person man must assist with the initial investigations and help detectives. Why would it have to happen here? And why is it night of all nights? Why? It's a corpus job to guard the scene of the crime, so I told Pash you have to go to the nearest police box and fetch whoever was on duty there. It was then that I opened my mouth to speak. It just came out. I couldn't believe the words that were coming out of my own mouth. This is the next beat to mine, Pat. So you'll have to go to the police box that covers it. Turn right along Meerschaum Street and then the rest of the directions.
Yes, basically he lied to his wife.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, comfortable.
Cool motive. Still tampering.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did still
Well,
tamper,
still
but
murder.
She's
Not murder.
dead.
She's not dead.
she's not dead. Yeah. Anyways,
I just wanted, just that one night, to take my Patricia out for dinner.
Oh, really?
Just that one night.
Wait, I got it.
Hmm?
So I was like, there's thing of their pun name, of course,
Oh, yeah.
Beat, because like Beat, but
Pat
also
and Rolly,
she's Pat
Patrolly.
and he's Rolly. Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, Patrolly. We covered that last episode.
Yeah, I
Well,
think
fuck
you,
me.
I think you might have
No,
been.
it's okay.
I think you might have been away at that point.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel better, I didn't figure out any of it, and you did it on your own. So good job.
That's true.
Hmm. You knew that if the incident was on your beat, your evening of celebration would be ruined. So you decided to move the entire crime scene outside your jurisdiction. Just across the street to the east pavement of Briar Road, which falls under the neighboring Beat's care.
Snow.
What?
We didn't. I have to bring it back to the first theory. It was the snowman.
The snowman.
No,
Turns out
sir,
the
it was
snowman
the
is.
it was the snowman what did it.
Turns out Mr. Garrideb was having an affair with the snowman.
Oh.
You see, I thought, well, I was sure the victim was dead, you see.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, of course he did. Otherwise, my Rolly would never have left the poor woman on the freezing cold pavement.
He is kind of responsible for her potentially going into a coma.
I see your meaning now.
Me back for my sins, didn't he? That's why I missed the rose I bought for Pat.
Oh no, Rolly, that was all my fault. I should never have dropped it in such a dark place. I'm so sorry, Rolly.
Wife would have been fine covering for
Oh yeah.
husband.
And can you tell us, Constable, how many books did you move from one side of the road to the other in total?
Oh, 4. It was. Yes, sir, definitely 4.
Three of them dropped by Mr. Natsume, and then the 4 being the one that fell from the window upstairs in the Garrideb household, of course.
But what made you place that book in the victim's hand? When all the others were scattered haphazardly around, I mean.
Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it.
You found it? What do you mean?
Ran over to the scene. The victim was already holding the book. So when I moved everything, I just made sure it was still in her hand.
You're sure this book, The Lion's Pride, that the victim was holding? I think I missed a word there, but it's okay.
We got the
You're
idea.
right, Jordan. She bent down to pick up the book, and then that's why the knife went into her back.
Oh, yes, sir. No doubt about it, sir.
Interesting.
It's an opening showcase at the time this week. It was only the two people at the scene that and me both saw it happen. However, which way you looked at it, it had to be the fellow who ran off who done it, I thought. I couldn't see a harm, really. I didn't think moving it all over the road would make a jot of difference. But I suppose this is it for me now. I've had it.
My lord?
Lord Van Six.
I believe that concludes the cross-examination of the witnesses. Constable, you may withdraw. Mr. Prosecutor, sir. What will become of my Raleigh? What will happen to him? For now, you are free to go home. The police will contact you in due course.
Move to a different department in a different area of town and nothing will change.
No, they do get charged.
Please, don't punish my husband. This was all my fault.
Well, he
It's
gets
because-
charged, really.
I'm always moaning at him for coming home late.
Now, Pat, let's go home. I'm tired.
All right then, my love. One last thing, Constable. Let this be a lesson to you. In a criminal investigation, every detail matters, however insignificant it may seem to you.
And these are the prosecutors who investigate these heinous crimes.
Dun dun!
Yes.
Carve that lesson into your mind. And never again make the mistake of tampering with the scene of a crime.
Never again, sir. You mean to say?
Leave. Now. This trial is not yet over.
Oh. Sir?
Is Van Seek showing mercy for the first time? I don't know. We'll have to find out.
Bias? Wow.
Well, quite a startling revelation, I must say.
We're just going to step past the fact that a prosecutor deciding on the disciplinary actions of a beat cop is kind of fucked up.
Well, he said the police would contact him, so I don't know how much he has on
He
that.
seems to know what's gonna happen, though.
He seems to have control in this situation.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Edgeworth could dock detectives' pay in the original.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing, I suppose. I do feel bad for Rolly, though.
Yes.
Yeah,
He wanted to do his job.
Yeah.
He wanted to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but
I mean, he seems to believe in
he
what...
hadn't slept in a month.
Seems to believe in all of it, yeah.
He hasn't slept in a month. He had this one day off.
Yep.
The man works weekends, for Christ's sake.
Yep.
And I do take his point, because I've been saying it this whole fucking time. It is the most open and shut looking case in the world.
Yeah, to him it seemed like it. Yeah.
Saseki could not have done himself worse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he really screwed himself. Anyways, whoever thought of a third party transplanting the entire scene of a crime like that?
Indeed, my lord. Nevertheless, there are some immutable facts here, principally that the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume, is the only person who could possibly have committed this crime.
Gravity?
Uh-huh.
No, I disagree. Now that we know the true scene of the incident, there is someone else. Another person who could be responsible for the knife in the victim's back.
Forgive me for being presumptuous, but I believe the prosecution is probably well aware of the possibility already.
Lord Van Zeeks, is this true?
Very well. Name the person, if you will, and if further investigation is warranted.
I gotta stand.
The prosecution has no objection to the trial continuing.
You will name this other person who could have perpetrated the crime.
Iris Wilson.
How did I know you were going to choose Iris Wilson?
Oh, what are
She
you
has
talking
enough-
about?
She has enough armament to outfit a small army.
Yeah, she could.
It couldn't possibly have been
Wait, no,
me.
you passed her.
Where are you going?
Yes, I did.
The victim did it to herself.
Yeah. She threw it up, bent down, and it stabbed her.
She decided to toss that she was doing her daily knife throws, then
Yeah,
reached down
yeah,
to
yeah.
pick up a burnt book.
Yeah. Forgot
Yeah.
that she had thrown the knife already. Reached down to pick up the book. Bam.
She's no professional. This is why she was practicing.
Yeah.
The defense would once again like to request the cross-examination of a new witness, my lord.
Once again?
My assistant made the same request earlier. In order to finally reveal the truth about this case, it is imperative that we cross-examine juror number 4, Miss Joan Garadeb. Mrs.
Yes.
But me? Oh, dear me.
Objection!
That request has already been denied.
Objection!
But the situation is very different now. Mrs. Garadeb, answer me this.
What do you want now, you little toad?
Rude.
At the time of the incidents, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband, Mr. John Garadeb. In the course of the argument, a minor house fire was ignited. To clear the smoke from the room, your husband opened a window that looks out over Briar Road.
What of it?
You threw this book at your husband when he was cornered with his back against the window. I'm making you sound like a bad person right now. Upon striking the pane of the open-hinged casement window, the book plummeted directly down, finding its way to what we now know to be the true scene of the incident.
Yeah, as I said, what of it?
During the argument, you were beside yourself with rage. As such, you threw not just books, but anything you could lay your hands on. So, let me ask you one more time, Mrs. Garadeb. This knife, the one removed from the victim's back, have you really never laid eyes on it before?
She didn't say yes or no before. She just kind of went, ah. and
She
then
just fainted, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll call it.
Seriously?
Am I supposed to remember everything I picked up and threw at my husband? And anyway, a man over there and all the regalia said members of the jury didn't testify, didn't it?
Conveniently, yes.
Objection!
No, I have no recollection of saying that at all, juror number 4.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Make no mistake, you jurors are not special in any way. You are not immune to the judicial process. If you know something about this knife, madam, let the truth come out.
But just could have come from anywhere. We have several like that at home. If one went missing, how would you expect me to know?
What's that? Are you joking? What are you saying? Please, Mrs. Garrett.
My house is full of knives. Didn't you hear me?
You just said that she had all kinds of those knives.
Now you listen to me. I refuse to believe all this nonsense. I couldn't bear the thought of I'd be injured somebody, you hear? Couldn't bear it. Oh, the poor woman.
Just ignore the handprint she left on her husband's face.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna not bear it.
So, yeah, I want evidence. I want to see hard evidence if you're going to insist on this being my fault. You're going to have to prove to me that I threw that knife. That's what you did. Come along now, chop chop, do your worst.
Well,
Well, Mr. Naruhodo.
if I had evidence like that, believe me, I would have thrown it at her already.
You have the knife, throw that at her.
Then take the stand, juror.
Oh crap.
The prosecution does not object to the defense's request to cross-examine this woman.
Sounds like we agree on the pursuit of truth, huh?
Yeah.
I think that he just has an intense distaste for anyone who like mocks process.
Yeah.
Yes, he's
kind of
extremely
arguing.
lawful.
Yeah.
Extreme lawful.
Well,
We
it's
are
funny
not
'cause
supposed to use the what is it called? The summation.
Examination.
And we did it twice, so no
Yeah.
wonder he hates us.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, he hates you for more reasons than that.
Well, technically, we've done it 3 times total since we've come here.
I think every time we do that, he hates us more.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
I'm gonna have to testify.
Juror number 4. As I'm sure you will appreciate, having observed it with your own eyes today. Witness testimony can lead to the most extraordinary truths being unearthed. Truths of which the witnesses themselves may not even have been aware.
Oh,
So I demand your full and unadulterated testimony, Mrs. Gerdib. And mark my words, in this court of law today, we shall extract the truth. Do you concur, counsels?
Certainly, my lord.
Yes. That's what I'm hoping for, my lord. It's my line. I'm supposed to go yes. Such a strange feeling. For the first time since arriving in this country, it actually feels real. I'm here in the Old Bailey, and I'm a lawyer.
I'm a real lawyer now.
Father, I'm a real lawyer.
Witness
Hey,
state.
Dom.
Hmm?
How much longer is left on this case, out of curiosity?
You're on the last third, basically.
Okay, would it be better to pause now or to try to push through?
Well, let's get to the part where she starts her witness, and that would be a good part to pause, I think.
Okay, as long as there's like a sufficient amount after that.
Yes, there's plenty after that.
Okay.
Okay, okay. I wasn't sure like if this is like the last testimony.
Yeah, this
or
isn't
not.
just a cutscene. There's more to unravel.
Gotcha.
Well, not really. You know what happened. You just have to prove it in court.
Right, yeah.
right, which can be a lengthy process.
It
In,
can be a lengthy process. Yeah.
games.
Yeah, now it's just basically now it's just a 1v1 battle against Mrs. Garadeb.
Yeah, or 2v1 because Van Seeks is on your side in this case.
Witness, state your name and occupation.
Yeah, my name's John Gerdeb. And I'm, well, a juror and such like.
I'm a housewife.
Yes, well,
I was
she
gonna
won't
say,
admit to it.
You do not have a job. You can't be your own maid.
Yeah.
You can just say housewife. There's nothing distasteful in it.
It sounds like she doesn't even know if she's a housewife or a maid or what anymore.
Hey, I
Yeah.
had one.
Yeah.
You did it. The court has decided your testimony is required in order to clarify matters in this case. Do you understand, madam?
Yeah. My vote.
You will tell the court everything that took place in your household on the evening in question. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth.
Hear me? Do not attempt to hide the truth.
What she hears is lie, 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 lie.
Oh god, this shaking animation is
Yeah.
pure gold.
Yeah, no. Basics is being earnest. He does want to hear the truth.
Oh, dear me.
Oh, is
This
this
is
It's
Mr.
your other
Garrett?
character, Phil. Yeah,
That's
this is
Garrett.
John.
Get up, Johnny. Nothing to worry about now. Where'd you come from?
He just walked up.
Oh, no, you're hit, John. Aww, if it wasn't for the fact that you were like an abusive wife,
Yeah.
this would be cute.
Was it
Some
only
people
you
have
in the room that day, I
dysfunctional
don't think, was it?
marriages.
Hmm?
Some people have dysfunctional marriages, but they still love each other anyway.
Yeah, fair.
Rather, I think I ought to testify as well, don't you?
But what you dear?
Don't you worry about that. Hardly notice it. Not the sort of chap to leave a comrade to face disciplinary action alone.
Sure. Hey.
I like that they're indicating how much effort it is for him to stand up because he's got this stiff upper lip thing going.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah, that big ol' like that lean and
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on his cane very heavily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I presume you are Mr. John Gerdub.
Yes, sir. Former second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment of the 4th Northumberland Fusiliers, sir. Got it in one.
Nice job.
Seen my fair share of action and now living the quiet life, as it were. The quiet life? Were you not engaged in an incendiary battle with your spouse on the day in question? Ah, well, yes, quite.
I believe this may represent the first in the proud history of the British court. Calling a juror to the witness stand is unprecedented. However, the court will hear your testimony for now. Juror number 4, and that of your husband. You will recount clearly and concisely the events in your home at the time of the incident in question.
And remember what I said.
Yeah.
No lying.
Remember what I said.
Where's
the truth?
It's not like you don't have enough things to rip Van Seeks on.
Pardon me.
At least give him credit for where he's trying to find the truth.
Yeah. Sir, at once.
I
There you go.
I love the fact that there will be lying. It's just going to happen.
Yeah, it's just true, but it's not Van Seek's fault in this case.
No, I don't have any disrespect for Van Zeeks as far as like actually being a lawyer.
Yeah. Cool. This is a great stopping point.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Next time we'll definitely finish the case.
Yeah.
At least I hope so.
Probably should be able to, probably.
Not
We should be able to. I know that right after the case there's like a big scene.
Yeah.
Well, sort of big, but it's not like it's not a gameplay scene, it's a story scene, so you just read it.
Right.
We're fine with that.
But
be
we'll
honest,
finish it next time, I swear to God.
Yes, we will.
Honestly, the investigation segments are better with friends than the court segments, which is very weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because the investigation segments have fewer instances of you like going back to review information and having to
I guess that's true.
Like there aren't as many flashbacks. It's usually flashbacks to investigations while you're in the trial.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Oh man.
Good night, Internet. We'll
Yeah.
be back next time with the
Mhm.
conclusion of this case.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll wreck a marriage next time.
Good night, Internet.